Europe right now, so we had to use a route to fucking India.
Let me. It doesn't matter. Let me change my IP. Or
I was trolling because there's no connection for Discord to the US.
You're using Tor
Connected to
from
Discord? Europe.
yeah.
How? It's
councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. This is Two Anonymous Bites back. We have a number of subjects we're going to discuss. The whole Assange pardon thing, the not getting a pardon thing, social media censorship, situation going on in Hong Kong, and the China connection. We will talk also about some downtime going on. There is no routing between Europe and the US at this moment, which is very weird. We have some other stuff. Yeah, the guys were already talking here before I went live, so I'll just let them continue if you guys want. I've Uwe and AK on air, and Smider is coming soon.
We were discussing some things, but I didn't want to say too much, because some of it was personal, but basically in general we were discussing what's going on with the whole Hong Kong situation. Uwe was over there with that, and he knows firsthand what's going on. So, yeah, if you want to discuss that and give an update on Hong Kong, because I'm pretty sure everybody's been in the dark about what's been going on over there. We haven't gotten a lot of information about that, and it kind of seems like there's been a full media blackout after the Chinese kind of took away Hong Kong's sovereignty. So go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. You can just. Oh yeah, I'll have to still post the link in the chat. I'm sorry, I forgot it. I will do it now. Just go ahead and talk about like whatever, like Hong Kong situation. About what did you say about these Chinese people arresting people? I didn't get that.
Okay, just in last two before the messenger war, they all move around talking about me. Okay, just escaping in the arresting operation from China. How to say that? They say that a national security team from China or something, name of them. Just they would try to start to clean up the final people in Hong Kong, just like the poultry. How to say the names? Just their vote with the Democracy Party of name of that is Hong Kong Poultry's Party. The people in their they call it how to say that. It's just a vote from them. I'm not really clear to talk about in English, but the Poultry Party people would join their vote to care which the zone, which the places they would afford to join the vote. But after that, around I remember the date in December, the last month of last year, it's just 2020. They tried, they used this name to, the Chinese party to use the name to talk about it. They are destroying their countries, their something like this. Just so they make the huge arresting operation. And I note this operation will as long until the Chinese New Year at the end, would using this executions to arrest the most people. The name of them will including the member of the Hong Kong Democracy Party. And some kind with the lawyer and the helper or free joiner supporter. So the last 2 weeks, if you check back up the news, will called around more than 50 people. 50 yes, 50 people would arrested in this operation. But that means not only like this. As I know, that day, it's more than 18 people is begin in the arrest. Just maybe some kind of the arrested people was not very popular, or they're not the idol image of the media, so nobody knows about them. But when I don't think the arresting operation will coming down, or will make it slowly, because that few days in 2000, just this January, just few days before, my friends of very popular Hong Kong lawyer, Mr. Wong, would say arrested by these executions. So this is the old man, around 70 years old, the older, very older, and just they have much more experienced lawyer with same arrest under this execution with the Chinese national security, something like this. I think seriously, it's not a violent force in front of the media. This means nobody can see the vote, can note what are they fighting, they're in a protest, they're burning something, or they're destroying something. But this most dangerous is behind the law, and keep arresting the people with these executions or this story to talk about them, or they support the 21 Hong Kong protester to illegal immigrant outgoing in the Hong Kong, or not only the Hong Kong, this means the China, because what I can say nowadays, we cannot say this place is called Hong Kong anymore. This is the how the username is SAR, the zone of the places of China is a part of the China. It's not Hong Kong anymore. So I'm really hope that we don't call this place called Hong Kong anymore. Hong Kong is died. This place didn't call Hong Kong anymore. It's just we need to rename these places, called it the SAR of China. It's just a part of the Chinese controlling zone or something.
Now let me ask you, in regards to that, right? Do you think that Taiwan is next to fall into that fate of what happened to Hong Kong by China?
If Taiwan would not, should we be the next target? As I know, the plan of the Chinese poetry parties, they called it the plan of 10 years. In Chinese, is the 10年計劃. So, what about the next 10 years of the future? They're planning to try to modify it or to getting back the name the Taiwan, but I don't think so. It's very easy because I'm beginning Taiwan right now, and I can feel that mostly the citizens in this island. I think Taiwan is an island. The local people also calling them like this. In this island, the people would have the emergency, and they know they're inside. This is not the Chinese places. But if I think about them and talk about them, I can feel that they very like the 20 years before Hong Kong people. They don't know what is war.
Let me just interrupt you real quick, and then you can continue. The reason why I asked that is because over the summer, we saw a lot of tension between the Chinese and Taiwan, and we saw the Chinese flying planes over Taiwan, and Taiwan retaliating, saying, "You've crossed the red line of our airspace to China." And we also saw that China accused Taiwan of infiltrating in their government with a spy. And there was kind of tensions going back and forth between Taiwan and China. So I was just kind of curious what, your thoughts on it, because you're actually over there, and you're kind of experiencing everything that's going on. So,
how to say that? If you talk about the spy in Taiwan from China, it's maybe more than over the Hong Kong protests. More early time, they got the injections in here. Just like in Taiwan, you will heard something like the Zhongting News or something they call the party of the party. This means a kind of little bit people would inject into their local party or media reporter or something. Government department, they would used to try to make out this speech to say that they love Chinese, they're Chinese, the Taiwan is Chinese, something like this. But I think it's not easily, because the percentage of knowing the democracy or supporting Taiwan is Taiwan or Taiwan is Chinese, the balance percentage was very small. It's not too much, but seriously, if you talk about the human pairing. It means the Chinese people to movement to move out. This means they're Chinese people, but they move to Taiwan, begin living or marry or getting the identity. The percentage is very, very high. And how would these people to think they are the Chinese people or they are the Taiwan people? This is topics in they are discussing in more than 20 years. Seriously. So, but if I'm in my side, I would look more than the next places as like Japan, as like Korean and maybe Hong Kong or the other places to look back around to Taiwan. I think maybe next 10 years Chinese cannot do this to attack to Taiwan or getting any force operations to here, because if they try to do something a little bit, and it will make the World War III. So I don't think so. They would Chinese would still be to do this action.
Well, I think normally the Chinese wouldn't be doing something stupid like this, but with rising tensions and with China just announcing that their naval police, just police on the sea will be allowed to use weapons on any ships that trespass their sea territory. That would make things more difficult for Taiwan and China and even Japan and Korea.
This is the interesting things would talk about. It's very close thing, political condition, because as Trump saying is the president of America, they try to make the related with Taiwan is much. I know that it's a little bit more. It's like their company will join to Taiwan, or they call back the Thai Tech Beam, just a technologies company. The
technology companies that produces the 3nm CPUs that is used in
the chipset with
so basically a company in Taiwan that produces your phones and processors.
Yeah,
even for Huawei phones.
This will make think how to say that in the GDP to talk about the economies. It will make Taiwan with USA was very closely and make a good related with that. But today we don't think about Trump was lost. So in Asian places, people would think about this. Shoot, it's not my mind. And suddenly they think Trump was getting out. Trump lost the vote. So what is the future in Taiwan is very, very. They can't see the future, and I would say that how to end the deal with the time, including Trump. How to say that this means in Trump's name is the president, and they make too much deal with the business, but nowadays he's gone. They don't know what we would do and how to make this deal in the trust, because the party was changing in America. It will a little bit destroying or just they cannot see the future about their business in something. But Taiwan people, I think, is saying very working by themselves, because seriously they're still in the just like I say, they think they're just an island countries. They can afford themselves. outputting or something else as like food, as like the energies, and they can make a cycle from themselves. They don't need to too much outside supporting. And in the history, that means the people would think Americans try to 出賣嘅英文字係咩啊？
Betray.
咩話咩話
出賣嘅英文字係咩啊？
？Sell
Betray.
out, betray.
Yeah, they try to sell out the Taiwan。我不如我講中文嚟翻譯嘅，即係其實台灣嘅經驗係美國人的確出賣過佢哋一次嘅，所以佢哋啲人就唔係咁信美國佬嘅人民就，但係政府嗰個 deal 就係冇辦法啦，佢要擊大陸嘅話，同埋美國佬俾着數佢咪一樣岌頭咁樣啫嘛。
Okay, so basically what they're saying is during the North and South Korea war, America did apparently America did make a deal, try to make a deal with China that if China backs out of North Korea, they will let China take Taiwan. America will let China take Taiwan without saying anything, long as China leaves North Korea. So the Taiwan people is not exactly trusting the U.S. government, but right now the Taiwan government wants to be friends with America because it's pissing off China. I was just
Right.
translating
What Trump did under his admin over the summer was that he tried to make a trade deal with Taiwan, and that pissed off China. China ended up threatening the U.S. and threatening Taiwan all in one go, and flying planes over Taiwan while, issuing threatening rhetoric to the U.S., saying that, you can't recognize Taiwan, there's a one China policy, and all of that.
Yeah, no, the same shit. They repeat that every time.
Yeah. Right, but it kind of seems like things escalated with the U.S. and Taiwan and China. So I'm kind of curious on what you guys think of that. The whole thing that's been going on with geopolitics between the U.S., China, and Taiwan.
Because there is just so now in this time schedule, I don't think the three different places people would not trust the government, and the mostly would make the condition is things just like what I say in the past is this war is begin from the people to the government. It's not only the country to the country anymore. So that's all in how to say that. In Asian places, people would feel much more this feeling like this, but they're not clearly to know what it means the people getting the war to the government. So some mostly normally people in the city or any places, they would think they were still under the rules, under the law, and they're very very kind. It's not very dangerous, but it's not like American. They in most news to talk about they got a Cold War in America. The Clone War. The Clone War. It means the Lloyd just
Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah. The Civil War in America, they were like too much roto, too much protest, and it's very crowded in America. Just to think, this is the feeling in Asians people to heard about in America. But I know it's not real. It's in Canada or America. It's same. It's
well, not yet. I mean, it got close. I mean, it didn't go to the point of civil war, but it's arguable that what took place at the Capitol the other week was close enough.
Sure.
I mean, what exactly actually happened? I mean, I saw the news and everything, but it seems like people were trying to, and I'm not defending them, but they're demonizing Capitol riot people.
Right. Well, they stormed
At
the
least I knew
Capitol.
it is. I know that. Yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say they stormed the Capitol. They had a protest outside the Capitol, and some of them decided that they were going to take things a little further and actually go into the Capitol. And a lot of these people had a violent mindset of kind of going in and finding the Democrats or the politicians on the left and hanging them as they had. So,
Is this somewhat related to something I've heard, like something like a Day of the Rope?
right. They said that the whole thing that happened, it kind of mirrored the book The Day of the Rope.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder, like, if it is not just that day, usually would people have the tendency to want to rush into, like, governmental buildings when huge stuff are happening? Or it's just this time that people do that?
This has been the only time that I've seen throughout history, like thus far. I mean, it might have happened under Ronald Reagan, where they had a lot of protests going on around that time period too, against Reagan. So they might have had not the White House, the Capitol building though, but also there could have been other buildings, governmental buildings that were stormed throughout history. I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I know, this is the first time that a major government building, the Capitol, was stormed. And what's so big about it is that it was actually when they were conducting a vote to confirm Joe Biden as being the new president. So, they stormed the building as they were as the congressional members were conducting a vote. So it was kind of like a quote unquote national security situation.
I see. So it would be some kind of controversial bill that has to be passed and people want to stop it. What would
So
they
they
do?
stormed it during the controversial moments during the vote, and it became a national security issue.
Right. Yeah.
But like usually what do they do if something else is controversial and they have to vote like inside the building? Would they just shout outside, or would like a few people also want to rush in? Or just people don't have even that
typically-
idea to do so?
The Americans are lazy and they don't protest things like that.
Seriously. In Chinese, they call it American 走高.
They aren't the only ones lazy. I mean, people are lazy here too in Europe. It's the same thing, same story.
Oh, of course, yeah, I know, but it's the truth, though. It's true that people are lazy and they don't care about their rights.
Well,
I mean,
that's the
if
only.
no one's right,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay, if no one's right was violated and everyone can just not care about it and enjoy all the freedom they have, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say this is the only reason they can take things away, because people aren't really caring, or they're apathetic. But they wouldn't be if they wouldn't be like full-time entertained by something. They're being entertained, and as long as that happens, they will stay silent. It replaces well-being. If you're like, okay, so you have no worries in the world, you feel fine. But if you have worries, but you're being entertained, like distracted, it replaces that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's what they did in the Roman Empire. They waged wars full time, but they built these huge colosseums where they would have these gladiators fight with each other, and all these people would like look at these gladiators all day and forget about the wars. Like, yeah, big events with horse races. Yeah. Mm.
So, and if you talk about the last question, I can thank you. If you talk about the war closely to Taiwan, I'm trying to talk with my friends in Canada just 2 days before, and he would say if there's to make the war begin, he thinks would be the India. You know,
Yeah,
is India was most highly dangerous level begin with Chinese to Taiwan, but that's why Chinese tried to build something 水坝, just
A dam.
water dam, water dam,
A dam.
the water dam in the Indian something river header places in the 點講呢 geography location in them and make the war just it's the same as the last year's problem. So we think if how to make the war rules is much closer than Taiwan. So if you talk about the Asia dangers, with most to think of that his ideas to think is Chinese should war to India, or if Americans want to pick up the war in Asia, it must be in the Indians' problem. It's not sure the Taiwan's problem. So seriously, we don't care. Taiwan was in the dangerous in the future, maybe 3 to 5 years. It must be safety.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be also related to like how much benefits could China get from that? Instead of like the conflicts level. Like if they desperately need some resources or some money or whatever.
I mean, Taiwan is a geographical location that I don't think China can benefit from tactically. It can be a political leverage maybe, but
Right, that as well.
gaining Taiwan wouldn't be that much for them, except for telling the Chinese people that they took Taiwan.
But I think if they would be in war with India, they would not be able to take the entire country at once, and that would also take a lot of
China
resources
is already
and time.
busy stationing its troops near Russia, and one part near India, and then the other part I think is in Xinjiang.
Yeah.
Its forces are kind of divided.
Right. I don't know about the Russia part still.
They're always on guard about Russia.
Oh yeah, but not trying to offend.
No, not on the offense, but on the defense.
Right.
但係我用中文講啦，呢個唔易喎。其實近排佢接壤，即係喺俄羅斯入邊接壤，佢都打得好勁喎。即係你睇下佢近洪都拉斯啊嗰邊嗰啲地方，呢排都啲即係包括白俄嗰邊嗰啲問題都好差勁。唔好睇小俄羅斯嗰個內戰佢只係我哋冇消息知道入邊嘅嘢嘅啫。
都係。
He just said to not.
Russia got its own problems with some possible civil wars that Russia may not be reporting about.
And also conflict in Eastern Europe
Yes.
at the borders. Yeah, but we don't know about it. It's hard to not overlook it. Right.
Hey, so in other news, that the whole Assange situation. What do you guys think of that? He did not get a pardon last night. Everyone was, everyone. Some people were hoping that he would get a pardon last night from on the last day, president of the U.S. gets to deliver this list of all these people who get pardons, and there were like 80 people on the list, I think. Assange was not on it. Snowden was not on it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't going to pardon.
either Assange or Snowden, but apparently we were wrong.
Snowden is a funny guy. It's moved to the Europe right now.
I don't know.
Is it? I thought it's Russia or I didn't really
not
get
in
myself
Europe.
fitted in.
He
He's
is
not in Europe right now.
no. He's in Moscow now. But I think some European countries did offer him asylum. Yeah. He's the guy a little
Right.
easier than Assange, and that's I mean, he can walk in Russia. He can walk for free, so he can just walk to an embassy of a European country technically, and then he's get like an asylum. So there are embassies in Moscow, right? I mean,
It should.
But
Right. I remember like earlier there were some kind of leaks that Trump was likely to have pardoned at least Assange that I've heard of, but this didn't happen later, like till yesterday.
Well, no, they were saying that he could pardon Assange and Snowden, but then Trump is saying that he didn't want to piss off the Republican Senate because they now basically hold his own fate of everything that took place with the Capitol attack, because he's being held responsible for it because he had encouraged it on social media and also in person prior to the incident.
But
He told them. He
Yeah.
told them in a video, well, in person, but it was a video that was that I saw where he said that we're going to storm the Capitol and march to the Capitol and show them that we're not weak, or something paraphrasing like that. So, I mean, he's on trial essentially for sedition and insurrection.
But he also did pardon himself, isn't it?
No,
If I
he
saw-
pardoned- He didn't
Yeah.
pardon himself. He pardoned his children, but he didn't pardon himself.
Can you pardon
it?
yourself as a
Yes.
president?
Why not? Like, as a president, you can pardon basically everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
sorry guys, lost connection for a second. The last thing you guys said was, can you pardon him? Can he pardon himself? And that's possible as a president.
Okay.
So what about the Assange part?
Yeah, it's just a sad story, right? I mean, he's innocent, so he's an innocent journalist. He's just in jail.
Yeah.
That is like the worst thing, and like the fact that people allow this to happen, but that there's not like a okay, there are protests, but there's like a few hundred people, right? But the fact that people allow this to happen and not like storm these buildings with like millions of people at once, that is surprising to me, honestly, because it would have happened like 50 years ago, especially in Europe and the UK.
Yeah, it's just too late right now. And interestingly, people stormed the buildings for Trump himself, who is basically not innocent for the stuff that he did. He's pretty guilty for that. People stormed the buildings for him, but not for Assange, who actually did good, way better for the people.
It's a symbol of oppression now. I mean, like, if you would be in France 2 centuries ago, they would put the people who did this like literally on a guillotine and like cut their heads off. That's what they would do 200 years ago in France. And now, but now you have people, like I said before, like people being entertained and they're apathetic. They're on their social media all day. They make a quick share and then they're done with it. It's like it satisfies them enough with the quick.
Well, I mean, they show that they care by posting something on their story, and then they go on with their day, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, like okay, so they're bothered about something, right? Something is like makes them annoyed, and then they make this share, and it is fixed again for them. It's
Right.
enough. It's
Like,
enough, right?
Yeah, I did something. Yeah, I feel good.
You didn't do anything. It's a digital. It doesn't even matter. It's a digital social media site. It doesn't even matter. It's like you just moved a plant in an office building of someone else. Like it doesn't even matter.
Right. You're not even watering it. You're just
No.
moving the plant.
Yeah.
A good metaphor.
See, that is it. Like a real organized resistance is replaced by that, and that is why everyone like is so impressed by the stuff that happened in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead, Smiley.
that's okay.
Yeah, no, but that's when people see real resistance, real protests, and they think like, I want to do this too, but it's too far away. Why can't we organize it here? Yeah, it's not going to happen because half of the people has enough with just pressing a like button. So yeah.
Yeah, but you know, for a really long time, people's been just pressing a like button or not even caring until it's going too far. Their lives would be like endangered and stuff. Then they would come out to protest. Only till then.
Well, it's when it affects them personally, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I always think, like, for stuff like Assange or press freedom, I think it's more important that we link this thing with everyone's lives. Like, okay, now they're affected, and how your lives would be affected when they would not be there or they would not be reporting the truth for you and so on. I always think it's like really important to tell people how these people being repressed would make a difference on your lifestyle or I don't know, whatever thing you have in life. They would likely be taken away because of these people's right not being considered at all.
Can I drop a little bit? I look in the YouTube channel and somebody asking the question would talk about what the
Yeah.
thing Chinese is very good, something like this. I can say 不如我都係中文講，跟住幫我傳咯。我而家唔係好精神，因
Okay.
為即係你話中國係咪個資本主義開放令到有部分人有錢咗呢？其實唔反對嘅，即係中國嘅發展的確係現代化咗，啲人都係進步咗嘅，但係個重點唔係個社會發展有幾強，而係佢個黨當有啲近期講緊嘅你充公人哋財產嗰啲嘢，佢哋係唔知㗎咯。咁你喺一個資本主義嘅社會入邊，你啲人係會接受唔到你份財產俾人充公㗎。咁你點可以講佢係咪一個好嘅好嘅政府或者一個好嘅國家咧？咁就自己考慮下。
So basically, to answer Jimmy's question, China has some. It's not communism; it's capitalism. They made a part of people rich, right? They
You
made
know,
some
it's not
people rich
actually.
and-
It's not actually capitalism. They call it socialism, which is like somewhere in between.
Yeah, well, they call it socialism, but it's an extreme form of capitalism where the gap between rich and the poor is very big, even bigger than so-called capitalistic countries.
What did you guys
Basically-
think? Sorry. Go ahead.
You want to ask a question? Ask the question.
No, I was going to say, what did you guys think about Jack Ma's disappearance? Because you mentioned capitalism and China.
That's a good one.
He pissed off some higher ups.
Yeah, I think so too. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just like, it's perfect time to discuss that because what you just said in regards to China being,
Yeah, he's one of the richest, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really good question to ask.
Well,
At
when
this
China
point-
oppresses the poor, I think they would also oppress the rich who piss them off. I mean, the rich people are getting privileges because they help China grow in business, so China will help them as well. But when someone rich like Jack Ma says something that crossed the line, well, China is not helping him anymore.
This is like
His whole company is getting shut down. For real.
I bring up the example, and this is the real story. Is the company name called Alibaba. You know,
Yes, that's
Ma
Jack
Wan.
Ma's
It's
company.
it's a very stronger people in the technology companies, or they build too much products out around the world. WeChat, the Taobao. This name of the sales market around the world is very popular, but I want the name of Jimmy's Tanker in YouTube channel. He requesting a funniest question like this. But if you look at the end of Mr. Ma Wan, you will know about his
Jack
story.
Ma.
He's forgive all the business. Oh, the Chinese government, you want to take me out over all my products? I'll give it to you. Don't kill me. That's all. I go to America. this is Ma Wan.
Yeah, that's
So you can think about was this the good things in China or good to the people? I would think this question is you need to think. You can work. but
We know that China comes in and takes over a business, any business that they want, and says they'll own your business. And with Jack Ma, we know that years ago he was forced to sell Alibaba. Now you know, I'm pretty sure you know that and you remember that, right? And you know, only a few years later he goes missing and nobody can find him. Like, you know, it's so suspicious. And we've seen people vanish before in China. So I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if, you know, he pissed off some higher up and they made him vanish.
I think that's exactly what's happening because, like, when you have your business in China, then, you know, on the outside it is capitalism, but in the form, it is actually communism. Because, like, when you grow your business to a point that the government would care about the money you're gaining, they would force you to sell your business, and then it would be like a part of the, you know, the country's property, and like from then on, it's all capitalism because the country will plan the company, what they do in the company, how much they're gaining, and it would be going back to the country and so on. So only small businesses are actually in a form of capitalism, and the rest are just like in a disguise of capitalism.
Which is this communist umbrella over it, right?
Right, exactly that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have this illusion.
and
Go ahead.
some is same. I'm speaking Chinese because the comment is same from the YouTube channel. Just he said the Chinese is more brilliant than American now, but blah blah blah. I check it on. 我想講就係嘅，唔可以否定，即係中國人有錢咗係一件事，但係其實即係共產黨係一個控制唔到人民嘅一個政府嚟嘅，因為呢樣嘢唔係個政府代表咗啲人民啊嘛，而係共產嗰個 concept 係你人民去反映個政府啊嘛，咁啲人有錢咗，其實同個政府冇關係嘅，只不過係個政府保留咗一個抹殺你財產或者剝奪你一啲權利嘢嘅時候，咁呢個係咪仲係咪資本主義咧？咁我就唔覺得呢個係資本主義，依然係一個共產世界咯，係啊。咁佢係的確令到啲人係有錢咗，但係有錢咗，中國人咪臭脾氣咯。即係你見到好多好醜陋嘅中國人喺境外嘅地方做一啲好 好缺德嘅行為嘅時候，呢啲就係大家而家見到嘅現象，就係咁啦。
So he's saying
Well,
that
Okay, you
they're like
Let's go.
yeah. Okay. We can see
即
that
即係我
Chinese
多少
are
少先，我多少少先，即係我想講嗰樣嘢唔係啲人令到啲人有錢咗，你就覺得佢係好啊嘛，即係啲人嗰個 quality 都仲係好差嘅時候，你會搞到一個好大家好唔接受嘅一個文化出現咧，即係中國人嗰個侵略性係比共產黨更加得人驚，呢、個就係個情況。
okay. Okay. So there are more rich people in China. We cannot deny that. And however, like a part of the people get rich, it doesn't mean that it is capitalism, because under this communist government, anytime they can just take away your property.
Yes, the government
if they
reserves
want
the
to,
right to take away your properties if they want to. Look at Jack Ma. You think it's big? Well, no, not anymore.
yeah. Another thing he said about it is just that even though people are getting richer, but like people's educational level and other ideologies that are within them has not changed, or it could not be changed in such a short time. So like
What happened?
What does it mean say? It's
She dropped out.
smarter. Maybe the network connection has some problem. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, that might have been it. Because we're connected to an Indian server. I mean, it's possible. It dropped.
maybe it's she. I'm not. This is
The Discord itself is in India.
Yeah.
uh,
Is it working again, Smiler? Okay.
okay, right, I'm back.
We were talking about Jack Ma and that stuff.
Right. And yeah, you were just talking about the people. Yes, and even though people got richer, a lot of things that are within them that they were taught have not changed, and that could be revealed by like people's actions and I don't know, like just what they do when they're overseas, and you would see that cultural difference in there that are I mean unlikely to happen if you are purely from a capitalist country and so on. So they are like still brought up in a background that is kind of communist still.
As you can see, well, basically there are examples of how rich Chinese people are acting. Well, they're not acting like they're not any more civilized just because they were richer. For example, I think an Australian journalist who is also in a university student got kicked out of his university for commenting on the CCP.
Yes.
These Chinese students were pressuring the university to do that.
Yeah, like if you are from just a capitalist country, you won't have like the necessity to, I mean, the obligation to always protect your country wherever you go, and that only happens when you're brought up in a communist country, in a communist community, and so on.
So somebody pointed this out. Jack Ma actually resurfaced. I just want to point that out there.
No, what did he say? Where is he?
Hey.
Is he safe?
Yeah,
Who
apparently
said
he
so,
was,
of course.
apparently he was just that he was hiding because regulators were clamping down on his business empire that he's created, and he's been in hiding, and apparently that he's okay, according to an article by the Wall Street Journal. But somebody sent me this and wanted to correct us and say, no, he's not missing.
You know what? Every time after people went missing, especially from China, they would come out with a video saying that I am totally fine.
So it's really I same agree with Jimmy's Tanger. Your speech is great, but just like what we talk about, the problem is the quality of the people. It's not the quality of the government. It's if the people say every countries would, I think they work hard, they do their best job, or they're getting out of the pool. But I think if we are the different countries people, we cannot really or actually to see how poor of the people condition. You can say that it's real in around this 20 or 30 years, in the closely of the east of China, the people can be much rich. The city was growing up with better condition of their energies or their lifestyle. They can make it better. But when you get inside of the China, what is the places? It means Sichuan or maybe Chengdu, Chengdao. These places, maybe in the lower village in China, it seems like maybe the condition with poor than Americans, or poor in much more poor than in Russia. Just this is the real. So how would you say is begin better or worse? I don't think so. It's we have the definition to talk about this. Just we most care. What I think. I just care about the related with the people to the people. Maybe we can kindly to face to each other. But in China, they was same keeping the very selfish inside by themselves. So why maybe you will feel that maybe we have something biased feeling to look around in Chinese people, but it's really because they're not very best. I'm talking in the people. It's not the government. That's all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even if Jack Ma has resurfaced, I mean, China has a history of making business people disappear, regardless. So, I mean, he could go missing in the future, but, you know, I am kind of glad that he is okay, because, you know, he created Alibaba, he created all of these, like, things, and, you know, he's a smart mind, and, you know, we don't need to just, like, get rid of smart minds in this world. We need more, so.
It's how to say that? Is Jack Ma have some, how to say that? Because this guy is very clever, and his experience is very clear to look the Chinese growing up. He can know the party and the condition around in Chinese. They know if you can't change even the condition with each other, because the party is too bigger and too much more people. So when he in I think in this generation, he's make a very clever choices with that. Is he got old, he got to live with this business market, so he forgives everything. It says, okay, if government need my business, I give it to you. I don't get any. I just need my safety and I need my freedoms, and then I go on. That's just what he thinks. Just how to say it. That means he is very clever, but in his eyes, maybe he was saying they cannot see any hope in China. So his choice would be like this. That's Joe Mark and choosing. There's nothing because in the last maybe the past experience of the other businessmen in Chinese just means they cannot they don't have their hopes to forget and forgive their everything. If you say want to control something with the business and the Chinese government party would not make very angry. They would think your jobs, your business are built for government. It's like Russia. Yeah, everything is country. Everything is 咩都係黨嘅so you cannot hold anything at last. You need to pass out your jobs or your product or everything you're outputting. Just go to the country. So how to say that is I would think he is a clever man. In the last, he know how to forgive and forget.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you. He's a very clever mind, and it would be a loss for the world if he really was vanished or killed by China. I know that they have done that in the past. So I mean, it didn't surprise me when he was missing. But it's good that he resurfaced, and thank you to the person who corrected us on that.
I think he might be a little too big to just disappear.
I think
we have heard China trying to replace Ant Group or Alibaba with a smaller company that listens to the CCP more.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They're gonna make this small company that listen to the CCP. They're gonna make it big.
I just think I just idolation to talk about Joe Mark in Chinese because it's a very good example. But I think we cannot to introduce any detailedly in the different case in the different people. In maybe I remember that around 2010 to 2015. It was some case is including the spiring action inside of them. Maybe there was underkilled was not only in the business. So if you really to ask anything details or what is the topic to all around with this, we cannot to think about any very smaller condition with every people. That's why. What we say if the people is safety or they don't doing the bad things, if they can leave, just leave. This is the China people they know. It's very including their theory know what is the poetry condition in China. If the man was clever or they're clear, they would leading out as they want to tell Yao something.
Well, it's very interesting because I thought that reading this article that I just sent in the chat, I thought that Jack Ma was forced to sell Alibaba to the Chinese government. I'm pretty sure I've read that somewhere before, right? Because you guys said it too. You agreed with me. But according to this article, it says that that was the fear of him going missing, that a government takeover of his companies was happening, or that he was in jail. Funnily enough, they don't say that he was killed. I mean, it's China. It's China, so they should. But you know, he showed up during a meeting with teachers, apparently, and he was speaking to a group of teachers, and the video began circulating online, and Alibaba's stock soared after that.
58 billion. I was shocked with that amount.
Yo,
even.
I would just like to remind everyone who is watching,
I think
a person there was a TikTok popular TikTok guy who is a Uyghur. Is that how you say it? Uyghur, right? I don't know how to pronounce it, but
The
basically,
Uyghurian
he's a
Uyghur.
prisoner in the
Yeah.
re-education camps, but he gets to wear good clothes and show it on TikTok, eat good food and all that. But after he makes the TikTok video, he gets thrown back into jail. So I mean, they can set up a scene for Jack Ma to make him look like he's fine.
Yeah, yeah. How do we even know it's a new recording? How do we know that? Is there proof for that, or?
At least in that website it says like video chat. Though it could be played as well. I don't know, it could all be scripted. But I just personally believe he's still in custody.
Or at least under close surveillance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible too. I mean, they could, like, because they might be a press move like that. I mean, it's possible. But you know, I would think that the Alibaba Group company would know if that was going on or not.
Yeah, but like even though if they know it, it's not guaranteed that they could say it or they could tell anyone else.
And they would of course prefer to say he is fine because the stock goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
even if they are going to say it, there's no guarantee that the media could report it or the outside could know this news before it gets shut down.
what you said about that TikToker, though, that was pretty interesting, saying that he was a Muslim Uyghur that was sending a TikTok from inside the camp and kind of showing, hey, you know, I can do this and that. It's not that bad. And then, you know, gets arrested again.
I mean, they always say Uyghur is part of China, but from how they're treating the people, it's not part of China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucked up.
Ah, it is. Yeah, no, he's right. It's like, yeah. I think they like. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're treating them worse than how a country previously would treat people in their colonies. Like, even in colonies, you won't just jail people. In places, they have house to live in and so on, but yeah, there right now, they're almost jailing everyone in that thing that's called an education camp. What were you trying to say, Mark?
I was saying that oppressive states such as that, they don't really like minority groups, groups who have like they think that these groups have more loyalty to each other than to the Communist Party. So this forms a threat to them, destabilizes the ultimate power of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. There is someone.
Question on YouTube.
Yeah, someone in the YouTube asks,
Yeah.
do we know the whereabouts of Professor Ilham Tohti, who is also trapped, imprisoned. I think he's also a Uyghur, right?
I
He was
I
carried.
don't know about this person.
Well, I see like this Ilham Tohti Institute says he's nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2021. Professor Ilham Tohti is known to be kept in the Urumqi prison number 1 against Chinese.
Let me translate his name. Maybe I'll. It would ring a bell if I translate his name. I'll see.
Against Chinese law, though, he is a resident of Beijing. His family has not been able to visit him for the last 5 years. Draws attention. So the Greens in Germany draw attention to the importance of honoring Mr. Tohti with the Sakharov Prize last year and describe the award as a clear signal to the leaders in Beijing to stop the inhumane treatment of Uyghur people and other minorities. It has to do with it.
但係佢點知㗎？佢香港人嚟嘅喎。
啊？
佢香港人嚟嘅喎，嗰個 Mandam Mona 嗰個香港人嚟嘅喎，但係
佢話 in Hong Kong 啫嘛，唔係 I'm Hong Kong 嗰個，佢打錯字。
哦。
So there's another question. There's actually a question from me, from Jimmy Taggart in the chat. The system in China created oligarchs, but it raised hundreds of millions out of poverty too. It's globalization. What is your take on that?
I think we kind of went through that as well.
We already answered that, I think.
Yeah, there is still a huge gap of rich and poor, and actually, like half of the Chinese, just general people, not middle class, not upper class, they are gaining a minimal, very little wage in comparison to.
There are the
half of the
lower
world.
classes in villages that they don't get much, and then there's the middle class where we have high-rise building next to little shops and villages. Yes. And then there's the well-developed places like Beijing and the stuff you see on commercials.
Yeah.
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 It look good that there's a high-rise residential building and shopping mall and everything next to right next to little shops. It's not very scenic, is it?
No. Well, you make a huge mass of people. You make happy with have some growth in their income and being able to buy some luxuries and these things, which makes them happy, right? But again, these luxuries are like just what we said about the entertainment. These people are being entertained with these luxuries, while at the same time they introduce this whole social credit score system, and have this complete censorship on the internet, and have a complete control system being set up. But the people are kept happy by an increase in income. So there is a little to say for both. Yeah, of course they can buy some nice stuff and some pretty clothes or whatever, but they will have pretty clothes still in living in a jail cell. So, just saying.
Yeah, and also like actually officially the National Bureau of Statistics of China did define what is a middle class income in China, and that would be a monthly income of $295 to $740 per month, and that is not a lot for a middle class.
But is that a lot?
Globally speaking,
Is that a lot for China? I mean, I don't know how expensive things are
no,
there,
I
but
think so. No, that is not. Which means, like, a lot of people actually are not even in, like, the global upper class level, because their middle class is, with quite a little income.
Yeah, they're always saying the GDP is great and all, but the thing is, it's the upper class of the rich people that are holding up the GDP, not everyone.
Yeah, and they're always not
GDP
talking
can't
about, like,
represent China.
Yes, they're always referring to the GDP, but not GDP per capita. Because that's one of their weakest points. A lot of people are not having a higher income. They are producing a lot, but
I mean, they're
the money.
I mean, China, the CCP is ignoring the weak links in China, the lower class.
Yes.
Okay, so Jimmy Tiger says, but they're also being fed though. They have food to eat though. Do we leave them in poverty or do we just not have any answers? Just questions. It's up to you guys. I mean, you know better than me. I don't know anything too much about it.
Well, the lower classes farmers, the government pay back the land for when they take away the farmlands to build residential buildings. So they get this money, they're suddenly rich. They don't know how to spend them. They're gonna spend it on maybe cars, maybe buildings, maybe a residential building, maybe go to Macau or Hong Kong to do some shopping, and then they're poor again. I mean,
Interesting.
the casino in Macau is built for this exact purpose.
So to actually answer the question, do we leave them in poverty? I think in the
I
eyes
don't-
of the Chinese government,
I mean,
The
they
answer
give
is-
the money. How to spend it is up to them. But they were never taught. I don't think not all of them were taught how to save, and to how to spend this money wisely. Not all of them.
yes,
How to invest, right?
yeah, which is like even people are brought out of poverty for some reason that they got a lot of money, but they would go back into poverty very soon because they could not manage their wealth well. And also when like you are back in poverty, you don't get that much support anyways, I guess, because they're more like the government is more about the development of the entire country and making it look good on the outside, but on the inside, like the policies for helping each individual people, the general public, getting out of poverty isn't that much.
Okay, the alternative is leaving them as farmers, is what you said in the chat. But yeah, it's difficult because what I said, like, okay, so an increase in luxuries, even if that's going to happen, like everyone is going to live like in luxury and stuff, you're still living in a luxurious prison to me. That's how I feel about it. But it's personal. Yeah, and here it's done. Here it's done the same way. I mean, they're creating this whole surveillance system here now too, and censoring everything, and kind of like
講
yeah.
開
Yeah, but you need to have a privilege to be living in a luxurious prison,
其
right?
實馬來西亞唔止嘅，但係我諗佢哋唔知近排佢哋發生咩事咧。其實大陸係而家斷煤、斷電、斷水、斷能源嘅。即係我哋知，我佢講開呢樣嘢，我又醒起呢個範圍。其實咁
Okay.
你話係咪判斷？其實即係當然啦，一定判斷唔到到底即係咪會窮死佢哋定係點啦？但係即係我話你而家呢個係貿易戰之後對佢造成嗰個影響嚟啊！即係冇人知結果啊！但係而家最新嘅狀態係中國自己斷煤、斷水、斷電咯，即係佢能源係唔夠供應嘅咯，甚至乎係都係啊！我同香港話電話，佢哋都講，因為佢大陸人嚟嘅，佢都有啲嗰啲叫做民運人士喺大陸入邊嘅，佢哋都知道唔夠入邊講緊州同州之間唔敢賣，有都唔敢賣咯，即係你唔係嗰個地方嘅車牌，或者唔係嗰個地方嘅，佢直情係唔賣油俾你咯。
Okay, so just then, he mentioned another example very recently that could tell that actually the government is trying to leave people in poverty if the resources are not enough.
Since
So, like-
rising tensions between China and Australia, I think the coal supply has been unstable. China
Yes,
has
unlimited.
has periodic stoppages of electricity, water, and what else?
Electricity, water, coal,
Oh yeah,
yeah, necessities in the winter.
fuel in general.
yeah.
Yeah, and they would prioritize
can't get warm.
Yes, they would prioritize their resources into the development of the country rather than people basic needs of getting warm every day with the coal for the heater. So that is just yet another evidence of the government not really caring about poor people that much. They are basically leaving them in poverty or furthermore despair. You could say so if you want to. Okay, he just said tens of millions died of starvation and the Chinese famine, though. I'm not being an asshole, I know it's a tough question, but what's your real world alternative or proposition?
Well, if you mean the cultural revolution or something like that, it's
No, I think he meant like in the 2020 because of corona situation and so on.
oh
And
Mm,
do you mean like a real world alternative or proposition as kind of solution to that or what?
no 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 個情況會係咁嘅，就係講緊我哋就算外邊嘅願意幫佢手，我哋運到入去嘅資源都唔能夠公平分配，呢、個先係共產黨到目前為止最得人驚嘅事。
Okay.
basically, even if we could deliver food to China, it wouldn't be distributed equally because of its policy on prioritizing the rich first.
有冇埋啲咪
Yes.
啊？好細聲。
我覺得把聲正常聲量嘅。
我唔知點解佢把聲特別細。
我把聲
仲
先。
係啊。
唔係你試下較大啲個咪。
O 唔 OK？O 唔 OK？
好多好多好多。So this is why it's really not why we are the outside people won't want to help them. It means if everything's the properties we can send inside to China, they will have a layer by the government to control them. Maybe it will selling them back to the needing helps people. That didn't we want to say that. You know it. Maybe in Chinese they would to blocking something outside people get in to help them, just like in talk back about the Wuhan virus, something like this. The WHO wants to make a team to make sure what happened in Wuhan or their laboratory. But just a long time they make too much exclusion. Maybe their passports, the places or something, or maybe you got two people take the virus, you can't get inside something. It's a long time ago. They break up all the everything's information in Wuhan. Maybe they burn their documents, they destroy the laboratory, and what we say is Chinese government saying want to mask about their secrets in the places. So what do you think? What can we do in the best to helping them, or what can we do? I don't think so. We just can do everything. So this is my answer, Jamie.
Wait, Jimmy said no, in 1956 to 1970, he was talking about the Cultural Revolution. What we would have done, I think.
It's not only that moment. It's until now. This problem is the same.
Yeah, it's the same problem basically. But well, back in the Cultural Revolution, Mao Zedong claimed that China had enough rice and everything for all the people, and they could even export to foreign countries like the rice. Well, that wasn't true, obviously. but that's what he said. He took all the grains and rice with and everything, and he starts selling rice to foreign countries while letting the people starve.
即係點處理咧？其實真係冇答案嘅喎，佢咁樣問嘅話，即係我哋外邊嘅人點樣幫到咪幫，即係你有心幫，我寧願係即係都係講嗰樣嘢，你一係就實實在在行入去處理嗰啲窮人嘅問題。如果唔係嘅話，會有即係個開放性係可以俾你入到去嘅，而家就叫好少少。以前就完全唔俾你入去啊嘛，未去到6·4嗰啲咁緊張嘅情況，但係冇辦法嘅喎。我哋外邊嘅人都自己都冇得救嘅時候，點幫佢嘅真係，唉。
Honestly, we don't really have an answer because we could have done shit. I mean, right now you could walk into China with tons of food back and forth. I mean, it wouldn't be enough for everyone, but you would be making an effort. But back then you weren't allowed in. Back then you weren't allowed. Back then you literally couldn't have done anything at all. I mean, back then not everyone knew that the Chinese people were starving. Back then you wouldn't have known this problem. You might not have known. I mean, we're talking about the issue, but I mean, we don't have to have a solution to be talking about the problem, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say, but we're addressing the problem here simply.
So, I would say the other question was talk about...
It's a good question though.
The centering at Anderson, he talked about the U.S. and Norton have an army race. I would think it's not only included army race is not only included 2 places. Today the joiner will including China, Israeli, and you think the 一帶一路 around to make them good message in this. I remember that in 2020 around January, the half of the first years, we talk about this. Most discussions would talk about would it get down the Trump and support China won't be something like this. I know this is a very huge topics, but in that moment I was saying thing, we can't let China growing up. If China growing up, and you can see that today is 2021. What is the condition right now around the world? And you can think about this. Yeah, sure, and you would see Chinese to take their plan or their places including in Africa or South America, but was it good things or bad things? We can't think about it. This is the old topic we talk about. Is everyone picking up their phones is like Xiaomi or the other Chinese product, but their message censorships or their message broadcasting would be the new weapon in the world right now. You know, today we don't take the bullet to kill the other. It's using the media to sharing the message to brush down something people. It's like Trump. Everybody social media to take off Donald Trump's message or their speech or his speech. So you think this is freedom of justice? This you need to think about this. This is not our topics or our speech can think this is good or bad. So maybe why we care much more about now Assange in Europe, what will this charge and what will he moving out, and we can back to the topic with Assange. blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Keep
well,
it silent.
no, the Assange topic is actually is a global topic, right? It's not just about the United States or the UK. It is if the US wins it, there is this legal support to have everyone extradited to the USA if they write something wrong about the USA. Except for maybe countries like China, but I mean, like for European countries, it will be very easy to do it. For example, and yeah, it just sees like what they can do to like an innocent journalist. It just shows like it's not even like okay. So what if they would convict him guilty of like being like a hacker or a cyber terrorist or a spy or whatever? It would be less damaging to press freedom than it would be when he is ruled innocent and he was locked up all this time. But for him, of course, it would be much worse. But I mean, it just shows like what they can do now to innocent journalists, and they can keep an innocent person in jail like this. That is a really strong scare message to other journalists, because they know like
This quoted with White about the message blocking is very dangerous, and in this age or this time area, we would think this war would, how to say that, it's not only the message freedom. It's in the past, maybe 2000 before the 2020, our message can seem have a little bit freedom. We want to share what the news, what are the message, or what is the informations we can share around, just what you need or what you want. Just post in the Facebook, Twitter, or something. But after the story or the vote in Trump, we can fill the world to talk about the message blocking is very crowdly to do that. Maybe what is said if and now we say I can see in the every social media or the news is fully to talk about one story, to talk about Trump, talk about America, but we forget the other story as like Assange or the other message from the other countries. This is how to say that, it will make the people to focus in one side and forgetting something, the other important things. So how does this say Assange in Europe of the charge? I have to read about his cases in his court. It would say Assange has something charge was not guilty or guilty something, and it will push up his jailing times, and it disgusting about if he end of the court in Europe right now. Should he move Assange back to USA to face his charge? But what I think, what Assange in America, it will very dangerous, because they are the part of the place's law. So in everything is like as I know, the case charged to the hacker or cybercrime, something like this. If you can't charge these people in the places, and it can move him to the other city to charge again. So if in case with Assange, we're afraid that he will keep move around in Americans different places and take a different charge, and that means what he can't living out until his die. It's very dangerous. But Assange is I'm very respecting his job. It's maybe most people would think he's leaking or telling us the secrets from the government, but if the people don't know what are the government doing, we won't have we won't have our freedoms. It's really so. Why we saying care about the condition right now with Julian Assange in Europe, and hope more people to care about back to him and look back around the WikiLeaks, just like this. So, Mark?
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to continue. I was reading the chat in the meantime. But,
I think a long silence right here is.
no, it's okay. This is interesting actually. It's actually interesting because you guys know about this. I think about these coups in Africa, right? The situation in
Yeah, it's
Africa.
about the US one, or
Also the Chinese. I think also the US, of course. US is always active in Africa because it has resources. Europe too, like France, is also active in Africa. But now the China too,
Yeah.
right? China gives these.
I think we're-
Go ahead.
please go first.
No, it's saying that China gives out these loans to these governments, knowing that these governments will not pay them back, and in return for not paying back, they will demand like property, like airports or islands and stuff.
Right, I think that's actually like just copying what the US did. Because if you still remember a while ago, a few months back then, like me and Amber were looking at that project of the US that was related to the newest Nepal. Do you remember that thing?
Yeah, I remember it. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the US started like doing that thing. They kind of give out not loans, but just money to help the poor in that project. I forgot the name of that. And then in a lot of countries, they were funding a lot of companies that are related to energies or different kind of resources. And then they're basically not asking about anything in return. So that is how they were like controlling the government in a few African countries. And then we also found that after like the government changed in African countries to break the deal, so that could be a sign of actually the previous government was under the US control and so on. Just speculations. And then I think what's happening with China right now, giving them loans, are just doing the same thing. We're just with the name of loans, not like we're helping the poor kind of project. So there is a kind of battle between the US and China again, everywhere. But this one happens in Africa right now. Like, it's not new that someone's trying to take Africa because it's a big piece of land with a lot of resources across different multiple countries. Yeah, it's just China joining that party right now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mining as well, I see on the chat. I forgot what's the name of that resource, but the thing that makes car batteries. They had a huge deal of that.
Lithium.
好多人
Yeah,
關心
I
能
think so.
好多人關心能源問題，好多人關心能源問題。
Yes. Yeah, everyone's all over about the resources and energies and stuff.
Yeah, but the Americans do that too because, okay, so the Americans they create a bigger money supply. They inject more money in their economy, and they borrow more money from the outside world. But so their money value starts dropping, right? But what they do is they capture these resources, and this is collateral,
Yes.
right? It is the just when you go to a bank to borrow money, you need collateral, and you say like I have this house as collateral, or I have this piece of land as collateral, and this is what these Americans do. They go to these international bankers, and they're only able to get more and more money if they have more collateral. So that's what they pretty much do. Otherwise, these international bankers would not borrow them the money. They would give it to other countries who have more a better future.
True, it's all just investments, right?
If you're more investors too, they don't care about the United States. Like for them, it doesn't matter. They can also invest it in Germany. Why would they invest it in the USA? Like this is the
Yeah.
thing. Hey, they can invest it everywhere. And you can invest it in the German industry or in France in wine, right? This is
Right.
it's not hard for them. You are invested because the Americans capture huge plots of lands. Like in Iraq is this cheap land, right, at the river, at the Tigris river. It's worth nothing now. Because there is only desert there, but if you it's next to a beautiful river and it's a beautiful location. If you develop this land and you put these big villas there, these big elite houses, when everything is safe there, that land is worth millions or hundreds of millions suddenly. So it's good investment. So you put up this collateral, and in the future it is like future contracts. They know that if it's being developed, they will be able to pay it back, right?
Remember in one of the contracts between the US and I forgot which country, it's been too long since we've looked at that project thing. It was some kind of thing that's related to nuclear power. Again, I forgot the name of that resource.
They're putting all kinds of stuff in the chat about that, but yttrium,
Yeah, I saw
scandium,
them. I saw them. say
cobalt.
that. No, not cobalt, but I think cobalt was also one of those things. But you know, the US previously in the early 2000s, they always worked really fast towards that. Like the first month, they found some resources in some kind of African countries, and then like 3 months later, they would already have signed that contract with those kind of companies, with between the US and those African countries. So they're working real fast that time. But they're like more, by projects. And what the Chinese government is trying to do right now is trying to sign contracts between the government and another government. So like between two governments about the development of the entire country and so on. So they are, I don't know, functioning in different kind of levels. And I mean, to me it seems like the Chinese government's actions are more aggressive, because they are signing like with the political power, not just for the resources, but more like, yes, we want a part in your country and so on. Yeah, Mark?
Yeah, no, I was actually when you talk about that, I was like suddenly thinking about that other project about China connecting with Russia, and I think they were scared of that. You guys know that, right? There's like this huge train track. They're investing like tens of billions into like this big train track between China and Russia. So cheap. So the products can go from China real fast through Russia into Europe, right? And that means like they put all the Western harbors out of business.
Yeah, are you talking about perhaps that plan of the 1.1 road thing? Let me just get a picture in the chat, so you will see what I mean and the countries that are involved. Is it this one that you're talking about? Like one of the line goes from China all the way to Southeast Asia, Kolkata, and then also to
Yeah, these two.
Africa, and then it goes to Venice, and
I
then the
think
other
it's
track goes from Beijing all the way to Rotterdam.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is not fully the way, because maybe, as I know something, if in China, or maybe not only same in China, it's Asia places. It got a train from North Korean to pass through to China, and it can be passed through to Russia inside. So you think if the property in trading, it can be moved from Russia to China and moved to North Korea?
So you mean something that is only between China and Russia and nothing else in between?
Yeah.
I see. So that's something else, I guess, because this One Belt One Road thing involves also other countries, like at least just countries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess, in between China and Russia. 6 stops more. So it's not this one. Can you just fill me in about that one? I don't think I know much about that one, or I don't think I know enough about that one.
I just know. Okay, so that especially that red one you're showing, that one, they're scared of it because look, it goes from Istanbul through Moscow and then to Europe, right?
Yes.
And so the control harbors will be in Istanbul and Moscow, and especially Moscow for them seems to be they can't really control it. So you put like the power in the hands of Moscow, like the import into Europe, because this is going to be the most important import line, right? Because this is through the land, and the other one goes through the sea, and the land is much faster. So you have these trains, and like in a few days, these trains can reach Europe, and so
yeah, like I actually know about this one, but the other one that we was just talking about, that is only between China and Russia, and nothing else in between. Do you know about that one?
yeah, I thought that was I thought this was already that one, but I what I read was about like one directly from China into Russia. Yeah, definitely.
That should be something else.
And they call this like in they call it like the new Silicon Road, right? You had the old
Yeah, the new Silk Road.
yeah, new Silk Road. Yeah, they called it. You know, the old one was like one of the most famous trade routes that like a lot of money was made there.
That was so long ago.
Yeah. And then this is like the new one, and they're really scared of it because it puts like all the it takes all the power away, right? Because the Rotterdam harbor is like very big, and you have the U.S. harbors too.
I was just so surprised, like how could they be able to sign with so many places at the same time? You know, that's a lot of countries, and I don't think a lot of them are friends, or they were friends, but not so much right now.
True.
Yeah. Wait, can you just tell us a little bit more about the other one that is solely between Russia and China?
Yeah, give me a second. So the chat is so filled now. If you guys can read the chat in the meantime, they're like talking so much. Like definitely like a Bolsonaro and stuff in Brazil.
Interesting to see that. You know, I barely look at the chats before, so I didn't know people were so active. Or it's just today.
I see that jokes in in Hong Kong.
Oh, what kind of joke? Ah, that one. Yeah, a person disguised himself as Kim Jong-un on October 28th, so probably, most likely that was for Halloween, and then he got arrested for holding a fake gun.
A toy gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was this thing. Okay. So they're already building on it. It's already being constructed. We call it the new Silk Highway, actually. Construction.
They're overusing the word silk. Just stop using silk.
Yeah. No one cares about silk anymore. It's all the lithium and other
Yeah.
stuff. A new highway that will stretch from Russia's border with Kazakhstan to Belarus, serving as a critical part of the China-Western Europe transport corridor. An infrastructure mega project that has been described as the construction of the century.
Okay, sounds like Soviet.
Yeah. So once completed, the China-Western Europe transport corridor is meant to be the primary nervous system of the Silk Road economic belt. The overland portion of China.
Okay.
Yeah, the overland portion
So
of
it is-
China. Go ahead. Tell me.
I mean, so it's sort of a part of this one belt, one road thing, is it?
Well, yeah, I think so. But it says, okay, so they say it now. They say the corridor begins at the Chinese port of Lianyungang on the Yellow Sea and stretches along the Lianhuo Expressway, China's longest road, to the Korgos dry port on the border of Kazakhstan, before moving through Russia en route to Western Europe. So it will be road, rail, and air transport hubs. All three.
Oh my. They're taking over everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do
this
you have a
highway.
map of that? Do you have a map of that, that whatever link it is? The Silk Highway?
Let me see. This from Forbes actually. So see, but they say it's going to create like a connection that allows them to travel between within 11 days. It should be faster, I think, than 11 days. Not even that fast. The plane is still
Wait,
faster.
what do you mean by?
So ideally,
Like
this
from where to
highway.
where?
This highway would allow trucks to travel between China and Europe in just 11 days by trucks, as opposed to 30 to 50 days
By
by sea
trucks.
and 15 days by rail. Yeah, by trucks. So but the railroad will of course will be a lot faster, but you can't like have like endless amounts of goods traveled over a railroad. What do you think?
Name of that again? The Silk Railway or what?
Yeah, New Silk Highway it's called.
The New Silk Highway. Okay. Search that one. The New Silk Highway.
It was actually Russia that was like was reluctant to give its portion of the project proper attention and funding, but now it is all done too. Oh, and the Russian part of it is called the Meridian Highway, and they're actively developing it already. It's to become a 2,000 kilometers toll road from the Sagar-Chin crossing point with Kazakhstan to the border of Belarus. So yeah. And the funders behind it are LLC Meridian, a company that's run by Alexander Ryazanov, the former deputy chairman of Russian gas giant Gazprom. And they already have 80% of the land in possession that they're passing it through.
Right. So it's this one, right? I guess the route there.
Yeah, there are more of these projects going on, but they're going so fast, these people.
I mean, it's not like they are going that fast, but if they announce it not so early, or when they announce it earlier, no one cares about it. Because you know this one belt one road thing, the New Silk Road, whatever. I've heard about it already. When I was in at least high school. And you know, all the development projects, I've heard about it when I was little as well, but you know, people were like, okay, it's gonna happen 30 years later, no one cares right now. Let's just do whatever we're doing and just see it build later. Like earlier, no one was thinking about all the impacts that it could, you know, project. Or no one was thinking about it like politically. Or people were not seeing it as a threat or, you know, any impactful thing. It was just like, it's just a highway. Okay, people are making it more convenient, and that's all. And only now that more conflicts are coming like surfacing even more, and then people are thinking about, okay, then perhaps we might have a problem in there, and so on. Belarus is still communist. I mean,
I didn't know that actually.
Belarus owned by Russia. That's in past tense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Though I do have Russian friends who are always thinking about, like who are always seeing the previous Soviet Union as one still until now.
Oh, they still think it's like the same now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but like Putin was working under the Stasi, under the old Soviet Union. He was the head of the KGB in East Berlin. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you know that, right? He was running the papers, so he's pretty much like an old Putin employee.
Yeah.
He's like an old Stalinist guy. Yeah. But he discovered capitalism, right? He discovered how to get rich and become powerful using the money and stuff. He's old St. Petersburg mayor. He's an old mayor of St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is like the heart of the Russian mob and stuff. So, yeah.
Very
Right, I didn't
true.
know he was. Hey, you're back. Okay.
No, I've been here. You guys were just discussing something that I didn't have too much knowledge about, so I was just letting you guys go off back and forth.
I'm glad you're back now. It's just us three now. So.
Yeah.
No,
for the moment.
I have been here though. I've been here listening to you guys talk. I just didn't say anything because I had no knowledge of what you guys are talking about. Like, I don't open my mouth when I don't know information on something. I mean, it would just be useless to the listeners and bullshitting, basically. I mean,
What do you think
Been
about it, by the way? What do you think about that fact that so Russia and China are building all these connections together, like pretty much trying to like put all the trade directly from Eastern Europe into Europe.
I know. Okay, so I know China was building a lot of railways and bridges, but I didn't know that Russia was helping with that as well. And I think what they're doing is building a trade line between China, Russia, and into the Middle East. That's what I believe what they're doing. But I mean, you guys like going back and forth. Like you guys had so much information that I didn't even know about. I mean,
I guess that's nice. But I mean, if it's about the Middle East, then it's not necessary to like extend it all the way to at least Africa and also Western Europe.
well, yeah, I think that it also extends into Africa as well. I think what they're doing, honestly, is building a trade between Africa, the Middle East, China, and Russia. And I think it's very interesting because that means that they are trying to circumvent, once again, the U.S. and U.S. shipping and stuff like that. And also, for China to ship goods to Africa and to the Middle East, it would be easier on a railway. But I mean, nowadays they're testing. Scientists are testing a hyper train that travels. It's an underground train, and it travels extremely fast. It's like in essence, it's like a jet underground. It travels at Mach speeds, and it's very interesting. I think if trains like that would be used for trade, obviously they're not going to use an older train, like one of those older choo-choo trains that go like 15, 20 miles per hour, because it would take like a year to get across, So I think that's what China and Russia are doing, is I think they're building a hyper train speedway for trade. And it's very interesting. Like I said, they've been building it for a while, but I didn't know as much as you guys knew about it. I had no idea. So you guys educated me on this subject. Yeah, I don't really know too much about the Middle East and stuff like that. Like when I was asked to write about like Syria, I had to actually study up on Syria to even know like what's been going on over there. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh shit! I was like, this Sunni versus Shiite war has been going on for fucking forever. So yeah, I don't really know too much about the Middle East besides like Iran and Syria, and obviously Iraq and Afghanistan. But I mean, I don't know too much history over there,
Right. I mean, I don't know much about the Middle East as well. Yeah, but I think it's pretty obvious when it's lining up most part of the world, just except I guess the US and Australia. It should be targeting Australia. I mean the US. I'm sorry. And I think it's also trying to build dependencies between China's trade, at least for cheaper stuff or food, with a lot of countries. And I guess this is another way that is not so obvious as those trade between governments with the African countries, but when the rest of the world would be depending on Chinese goods, and if there would be another time like the pandemic time that comes again, there would be a lot of not just trading, but a lot of things that they are perhaps going to have to give up if they are not trading with China on those things anymore, if China would halt those goods sending shipping to them.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, because like when it's so much cheaper and so much faster that you can get goods shipped from China, it's very likely that they would take these alternatives, right? If they are not going to produce things in their own land.
Okay.
See what's in a YouTube chat.
Major Tom says like a modern Panama Canal. Yeah, well, pretty much. That is what they're doing. Many Eastern European countries are land like Russia will have cheap goods fastly shipped to flood their internal markets. Control trade access and you control the levels of power over other nations, like Russian gas to Germany.
That's true. Yeah, and that's also true too. I completely disregarded that fact, but these trains would also be used for oil trade, and oil trade from in the Middle East and from Africa. back to Russia and China is huge.
Yeah, Africa becomes the new opportunity, I guess, for them. I mean, after this.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Belarus is a Russian partner, it says. Ninja Shinobi says, tell me which country has eliminated poverty. Is there any? Maybe Norway. But Norway cheated.
What was that country where they started the Switzerland? I think they started the universal basic income.
Yeah, Switzerland is a unique country. Finland also has a universal basic income. Not too much, I think. I think you get like 800 euros as a basic income always. Everyone gets it. Just
I mean,
800 euros.
for a year or what?
Forever, I think.
Or
Oh, for a month. I'm pretty sure, right? 800 euros a month.
Yeah, 800 euros a month, but forever. Yeah, so it's not like it's not the same as like government support in that sense. It's only given to people who don't have a job, whatever. Everyone gets it, so also the millionaires get it.
more than the middle class income in China.
Yeah. The fact is, you just get this, but above that, you can also just still work and stuff, right? And make your normal wage.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, the attempt with a basic income is to shift the society. That you have office jobs which are relatively easy. And you have jobs. That depends on how you take it, but physically relatively easy. When you have jobs like you build a house or houses or you pave the streets, right, which are physically very tough jobs, and the thought that some people have behind it is that it actually those tough physical jobs will be the highest paying jobs, because it becomes a luxury to work, so it becomes a choice. So you don't have to work anymore, but when you work, you pick the tough job when you want to earn more, and you pick the easy job when you want to earn less. Right, so that is an opportunity you have with basic income. Right, so you pave the streets and your body will be destroyed at 50, but you will make like 5,000 euros a month, right? And where you as an easy job, you won't, right? So that becomes a luxury to work, and that becomes that is a shift in society, and that creates a very different society. A society where people might be much more happy. But yeah, it's utopian too. I mean, there's always downsides to it. The downside is that that there's people who are scared that it removes the incentive to work, because you get money anyway. You don't have any reason to work much anymore. That many people will choose not to work, and that there will be a lot of jobs unoccupied. Yeah, that's an incentive. I know in Norway, Norway is very in that sense has pretty much eliminated poverty, but that's because Norway kind of cheated a bit. Other countries don't have that luxury. I mean, Norway discovered a huge gas and oil fields in the North Sea, and instead of selling everything like Netherlands did, our country sold everything, right? And that's how we became rich on the short term with big companies like Royal Dutch Shell. We became rich on short term, but on long term we didn't have any savings. So, but Norway actually built a pension fund with it, and built a fund for the poor, pretty much. And now they have like yeah, a country that has like literally no poverty. With the highest wages, everything is very well in order there. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they built a huge investment funds with it, huge pension funds, and it is yeah, those things, those are worth so much money that they can just, yeah, pretty much give everyone all the money they need now in Norway.
Yeah, they raised the minimum wage in Switzerland. It was like raised to the highest minimum wage in the world. I can't remember what the hell it is. It's like $20 in USD per hour or something like that for minimum wage. So I mean, it's up there. So they've been doing some interesting things also in Switzerland. So there are European countries that are trying to eradicate poverty, but I don't think that there's been a country that has fully eradicated poverty. Just to answer your question there, Smaller.
Good. Not my question, but someone's questions on YouTube.
Oh, you were reading questions on YouTube. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, YouTube chat is really busy lately, AK. Just they're all like putting all kind of stuff in it, questions and debates. Let's see. Hey, so this is one you do know something about, maybe, AK. There's this new executive order on cybersecurity was released like shortly before Trump stepped down. Have you heard about that, or?
No. What?
Like
did he
before.
do?
Shortly before Trump stepped down, there was this executive order released on cybersecurity, and it was like threats on the cybersecurity.
I know. Okay, so I know one of the things that he did before he stepped down
It was like the same night, by the way.
was that he revoked the lobbying ban that he put into effect after he was, promising he was going to drain the swamp the whole entire time. His last day, he revoked the lobbying ban. So there's no longer a lobbying ban.
Okay, but I've seen this other thing they mean, and that is also on the last day, and they say President Trump signs order aimed at thwarting cyber interference. The order comes on Trump's last full day in office. So he sends, okay, there's an order aims to prevent foreign actors from using cloud computing platforms for malicious cyber interference against the U.S. It directs the Commerce Department to develop rules that require cloud service providers to identify and take action against foreign entities. So it seems to be it's against targeting United States critical infrastructure. Comes 2 weeks after U.S. intelligence agencies attributed a sophisticated malware campaign to Russia. Massive breach, compromised email system. Trump has been reluctant to blame Russia and suggesting that China is to blame.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with him on that one single point.
Yeah.
Because all of the things that have been going on with geopolitics lately has involved China and not Russia. And it kind of seems to me also that China had previously breached Australia, or I think it was Australia's security as well. So I think, honestly, that the attack was China and not Russia. We know that these state actors can forge attacks and blame other entities. And, from the CIA's leak on Vault 7 from WikiLeaks, right? We know that they can forge signatures, and it's possible that China forged signatures of Russia. I mean, that's obviously possible. I mean, none of the forensics have been published, so nobody can view it except the government. So they haven't really posted any evidence to prove that it was Russia over China. But I think it's very interesting that they're doing that, considering, as I've documented over and over again, this year there's been several cyber attacks on the U.S. infrastructure over the summer. I mean, it was like fucking crazy. It was almost like it was every other week.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Yeah, and a lot of serious downtime too. Like successful attacks.
Right, yeah, and those attacks were state actors. It wasn't like those attacks could have been anybody, any individuals or hacker groups, because they were such large attacks. I mean, they took out cell phone towers, all cell phone towers, and cloud computing services like AWS, Google Cloud, and just to take out AWS is fucking ridiculous, man. That takes a lot of bandwidth, or an exploit.
Yeah, the only other way to do it is when it is like a huge event, right? And streams are overloaded already. That's the only way you can really do it. Otherwise, you need so much bandwidth, or really like a technical exploit. Yeah. Or you need an insider that who releases like false DNS settings or something, right? That then populates and messes things up for a while. But that's only for a short while. It's like a new update, right? So, yeah.
Right, and we saw over the summer that numerous services were down all at once. ISPs were down, cell phone towers down, everything down. So it was a attack on infrastructure. I don't know how, but I mean there was several instances over the summer where there was large outages of internet services and ISPs and cell phone towers as well. So I don't know how they did it, but I mean, how do you think they did it? Like how, like from a InfoSec perspective, right? How do you think that they were able to accomplish that and take out so much infrastructure like that?
Okay, so I think that has to, if you want to do it at that scale, you target like the DNS platforms. I think is what you would do, but you can either do you can do it through having it populate the wrong sections. So you need an authority DNS thing that all the others. So you put in like new DNS values like that. A certain name points to a certain IP address for listeners. Like a certain domain name points to a certain IP address, right? That's a DNS values. But you need, if you have an authority uplink, something that is respected, like Google or something, the others will accept it and they will immediately take over all these settings. So and then.
So you think it's so just to try to reiterate that thought, you think personally that maybe possibly DNS was hijacked and then they pointed all of these services to that hijacked DNS? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like invalid settings. I think that. Yeah, poisoning the DNS settings. I
Right.
think
So
that.
yeah, with the DNS poisoning attack, right?
Yeah, and then.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and then like
Go ahead.
relative to like how fast it updates, you will have a downtime of like 15 minutes up to 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, and then like relative to like how fast it updates, you will have a downtime.
Yeah, yourself.
I'm sorry, I make you in the Crowley, but I heard about this. I want to join.
Yeah, go ahead. You know a lot about this kind of stuff.
This is I'm not sure what happening around the world DNS in. I think it's including the American vote or the president vote or something. The DNS was very different in the same attack in the last few months. But if seriously is in hijacking the DNS is it's mostly like how to say that it's dangerous for spoofing or taking the other information in the DNS. So we also have the technical knowledge to talk about how to use it's like the end-to-end encrypt or something protecting in the HTTPS protocols something. But just take a look how the message inside what you would care about. For example, we just talk about where we're going, where we go to watch a movie, how to meet a girl, how to dating something. It doesn't care who you meet or what the message you leaks. The most important things is we care about the message, including something protesting operation or something speech you think about is dangerous with your country, and you will be care about this. So how would think the cybersecurity of the people is what I think it would two-faced around with this. One of the users levels to look around what other data message or the conversation they care about, and the other things is most topics around that called the big data, because in the normally people they won't think about the big data is they don't know what is it. Seriously, they would think the big data is everything of your message, everything of your information. It can be do this, but not really. In case like the very popular topics around right now to talk about the Facebook, WhatsApp, or something Messenger, and they would think they would get your information to do something you can't think about, but it's not like this. It's serious, not like this. It's just the messaging's anonymity method in the cyber society topics. It's like why most people want to buy the McDonald's and it doesn't not buy the KFC. It would have something anonymity results from the database announcings and marketing problems to let the company to know back how to they release the new rules or new events function or their business skill to make them better than what they lost. But this is the big data core inside information of what it means big data. It doesn't mean big data would capture your everything's maybe your detailedly message inside from you and it will be a record, because you need to know the most message inside of is, and it be recording in a data is in first, this is the rubbish because it's too bigger. In I have then developer experience is in Hong Kong. They are using the Telegram to chat with normally message, including their something what they call it the yellow shop or their AdWords or there's something. Just around in a month, they can build out more than 33 terabyte data inside of just the text message. It's not including in the voice or the image file. So it's into the big data resources. This some kind of data is not how to say that is not very important of the big data analysis. So it just means we need to in the big data topics, it's just the analysis to know the people what they want to do and what are their cultures or what are they want to take it, and let the companies to make out the product or the sales info to let you know their product is very good, something like this. But so in some case, it's like the protesting cities. They would care about the company would then sell. For example, in my case, the Hong Kong would like this. Hong Kong police will recording to the officer to the Facebook to take the user's information. Or would this guy to post this post to recording the protest on the street or do something violence act on the street. The police would do this. The most the dangerous condition is the companies would afraid their business in their location, so they will pass through the data to the police and make the people in the not safety. That's just all why is the information security in around between the internet and the government and within the citizens. So so that's why not very consumption things to know what is the people doing. Or no one
can hear you.
Hello. Oh, I know, because I see the YouTube is keep flash.
A little bug thing, I think. We just can continue.
His professor, something like this. It's just the personal attack. It's not a really. It's really huge problem to take this. Maybe people want to protect themselves like this. So maybe the scammer, the liar, or something criminal about in the internet. It's like the Bitcoin scamming, something like this. It would be, but this. So why I say that. In this interface, we have two sides to think about this. One side of the users 學習慣係咩啊 Just like the users what did say that I forgot the words in English.
Habits.
Just
Habits.
Sorry.
Habits.
Yeah. Just and the other side is how about the government to order the company to take out your information. It's different way because in fully at the system we look around. It means the government want to take the information, they will use the law to order the company to take out your information. That is much more dangerous. So in this layer, to talk about people how to protect themselves or to trust the company won't put out your information to the government. This is just what we say is the cyber rights or network freedom, internet freedom, just like this. And I'm serious. I don't want to talk about Signal in this moment, because I personally I got 3 days or more to decoding this program or this application. It's what is the boss of Tesla is saying? It's really it's safety. What does it mean? What does the safety was his meanings? It's just nothing, because it's serious. It's nothing to save your recording, or this company won't have any business with big data sources. They just think only to use their personal chat or personally call in this application. But in the different countries or different places, people would think more about this. I can say that it's not really security. The safety, it just means this company won't sell out your data to any government or each other companies. It won't join the big data information sharings. It's just only like this. So I hope that if people did enough emergency about it's very safety, it's very kind to the people. It's not. It's seriously. It's, I think you want a safety. Maybe you can use Discord. You can use ICQ or Walker or something. Maybe the older chat application. I make a joke like this.
ICQ is a classic. It's like 1996 or something. I used this 1996, I think, ICQ.
It's not. It's older than this. It's 1994.
Yeah.
It's older than this, but it seems. I think it's not a time to talk about what about now in ICQ. It seems like the Telegram core behind of the ICQ coding. It's seriously, it's same output the API, the developer with a boot. You can to bring a channel or something. Yeah. But I don't think it's time to talk about which application can help the people in the safety. This is not what we wanted. It's just to talk about what is the speech of the Signal means is safety. This safety is just only means it won't sell out your data, and everything your conversation is just keep in this messenger. But if even the people would take the other rules and conditions, for example, it's like Hong Kong, the police will arresting you and check out your device, to arrest your computer, to check out everything. You still can't keep your safety. Everything's message would be provided or exploded by the police. They just look. You got this chat. You're texting something like this. They would take the charge on you. This is the different things to talk about. That means it's safety. So that's why I'm serious. I have make a joke to talk to the Hong Kong people is say that if you really care about your safety, hey guys, you can try to use Steam. It's the Steam is the gaming software in a computer, and it's now across the Steam chat within mobile. But why I say that is ISIS saying using Steam to talk about their terrorism attack. Why not you are very care about this? Why not use the Steam chat to protect yourself? You don't need any mobile phone number. You don't need maybe you just only to use your email address, and you can put your name on only the username you want to create it, and just only know who is who and who by who, and you can do everything. And maybe you can use this chat on your PS3 or PS4, PS5. It's not only in it's a cross-platform to using the chat. This is the most security things, as you know, because if people are very care about the censorship with the something like this called a chat application or the messenger, you can think the government would use the most using percentage in the market as like people most using in the mobile, most using in the browser, or just the computer. But too less government would care about to moderating your PS5. You think about this. So it would the different things to talk about if you really to care your chat message security. You can just like the levels to higher up to like the ISIS. Why not use Steam? Why not use the other gaming software?
Hold on. We need to break in here and give a disclaimer.
Oh, we can't. We're not allowed to talk about hacking because we get deleted.
Yeah. No. I don't try to make with talk about the skill about the hacks or something. I mean it's the rules, and included is not a hacking. It's the other interface from the government wants to take your information. What can they do? If they just use their right from law to order the company, this guy was joining the terrorism attack, I need to know who is it, and order the company to take out your everything. I think this in Europe, in American or in Asia places, the condition would be the same.
I agree.
Oh, what I was saying is because you said like I don't know if it's because of your like difference in language or not, but you said for ISIS to use Steam. I'm like, wait, no.
It's a trigger words. There's some trigger words there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, we know like YouTube became this platform of censorship now. Probably what they would keep us up on vk.com or something though. We can still download it. But, yeah.
Yeah, but we would just get fucking fucked from YouTube, like whole channel gone just because as Uwe said, the fucking support ISIS by using Steam. Oh my god, man.
He does make sense though. What it means is like you don't have to communicate using a phone number or whatever. You can have the software. Also, like Wire doesn't ask for a phone number when you connect to it. You can just use an email address. And Steam too, you can use an email address.
Alright, we're done giving you advice.
This means it's not only why is yeah. This is funny topics, and I remember that 2016 they say that they can use it because why they use Steam the Steam can cross-platform with your PlayStation's 5. And you can versions about that. The network censorship can most the resources to focus on the mobile or the computer internet, but they want to make too much resources to focus on the gaming service. So why they're using in a Steam and chat with something like your PS5? It's really it's not. I know this is a joke. I know this is really a joke. It's very funny, but it's real.
You're right. Oh, you're 100% right, because they don't require a phone number to set up an account.
Yeah.
And because of that, they can. It's easier to hide yourself behind an account like that than something that requires a phone number. But even stuff that requires a phone number, I mean, people years ago were able to just get around it, circumvent it. But now, like with Twitter and everything, we're starting to see them implement very strict algorithms against finding fake phone numbers.
But I'm not really sure about this function, because I always have the feeling like later than 2010, most software company would say it is the real human or activities to make sure you are a guy. This is all the internet users were saying, I'm not a robot. this collected something like this. So it would make too much to use the phone number or the other identifications to know who you are, where you are. What this means, because why you use the mobile phone number to maybe access, or we call it to deem something your identity, because the SMS center can the signal or the, how to say it still can know where is the zone you are in, because if you use the phone number, it will already have the zone code. It's like maybe XXX is a Taiwan, is +1 is American or something. You will have some code to know which are the people in these places. It's actually to if they want to trace you back, it can zoom you in a small places or more areas of the place. You talk about it is right. Is you can use the fake number or recording something. I know something skilled to think is use the VoIP number to get the SMS, and you can still hide in the world. But this is not very useful to the normally users or the people. It's they would think, it's too much complicated. They need to do much more action, and they can get the fake number to register something surface, something like this. They would make this is trouble. So, but it's easy to use in Steam.
That's all stuff that we do. I mean, that's that's all us. That's all us trying to get around circumventing technology and quote unquote hacking something, and making something work in a different way than's intended.
Yeah.
So I mean that's our mindset, and we enjoy. Most of us enjoy just doing it, just to do it, just to try to beat the system,
It was the so this is the answer. Would think about it must be including something topics to including the big data, because it just means to getting your usings, experience, and hobbies to enhancing the users, what they like, or what are their future wants to do, or what they need. But it's just like this. But the people would think about big data is a very terrible and dangerous thing. So, if it's a two ways to talk about as the people want to protect themselves, or they will emergency in a very, very dangerous condition by themselves. But I can say it's not only like this. If you really want to want to make in your safety, you don't use this. It's really safety. Okay, you can write a letter. And don't send an email. You can write back in the letter.
No, wait. Because Mark knows where I'm going to go with this. There in the NSA leaks, there was proof, and a lot of people miss this, that the NSA was involved with the Postal Service, and they were involved with opening and reading some letters by interception, and then closing them back up. So, yeah. So they could still read your letters, and they also have like X-ray that they'll put a letter through an X-ray machine and can kind of read some of the letter, you know.
Same is the way, but it's just the what I'm saying something in the crazy and judge to the people is because mostly, how to say that, people must have something protect themselves feeling, or in the how to say that,
well, I could say like using end-to-end encryption is secure. I mean, unless you're unless you're a high-profile target and you're going to have somebody performing a man-in-the-middle attack or a minim attack. I mean, end-to-end encryption is still the safest way to communicate.
I actually agree.
But you know, like, why would they use, like, for instance, let's just say, since you brought up terrorists using Steam, right? Why would they use Steam as opposed to using an encryption service, right? The reason being is because they feel that they can hide in plain sight using something that everybody else uses, that way they can kind of hide from the intelligence services. But what they don't realize, and they're too dumb to realize, is that typing certain words in Steam, unless you're communicating in fucking code, I mean.
Yeah, but that's not hard either. If you give each other a notebook beforehand, before you actually you meet up and you share notebooks, and then you go to different locations and you use these notebooks to actually. You can just talk about some game and you know exactly what you mean, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. You can hide behind that. But what I was going to say is that, you know, using certain words on Steam, I'm guaranteeing that it's going to trigger the admins at Steam to investigate. Like, you know, all of those chats are not private.
I know Russian intelligence used to communicate below YouTube videos, literally, in the comments. It's not even a joke.
I know. It's not actually is a good way to do that, but in the, how to say that, this is the, it means if two less people using this this communication software or conversation software, that means the government won't use too much resources to focus on this moderating. That's what I mean. So in case most the deep web user or they're using their sellings market with ICQ is really, but why not they are keep under in the safety, maybe safety, or they can hide without the criminal charge or skipping the police arrest, just because the government system won't put too much resources to focus in the smaller conversation program. Seriously. So I would say that just take in our case, you can see the news is say that Signal got a billion user to change to Signal is something. It doesn't mean anything. It's just let's call it the government system, or maybe the NSA already, or the GBM or something like this in the Europe aspiring party. They were saying, the people try to move to the other application and they force their resources past to do it. It's just a time problem. It's not really you can make it security or security safe. It's like a catch and the mouse related. I jump to ICQ today and tomorrow I jump to the other software and the other software and the other software. It's just related like the mouse and cat, the rat and mouse, or the rat and cats. As I think. You think so? And you talk about right is the other way is called end-to-end encrypted because not very much normal people to know what is the inside of the end-to-end encrypt. So they would not trust the company to use the end-to-end encrypt messengers can protect themselves. They would think you're still selling my data. They just know like this, so they must be afraid. But I'm and the other things is I'm not really sure how can the NSA censorship with the data they can getting is something, or maybe I just say like this. In Asians people, they afraid the data censorships will pass through to the dangerous government as like for maybe China, maybe Russia, or maybe North Korean. They think that this government is terrible, something like this. But the funny ways is they will trust the American government. They will pass all their they don't mind their information to pass to the NSA. But they say they're dangerous. But I don't know what it means. Maybe they will think I'm in Asian place. I'm in Taiwan. I'm in China. The U.S. government cannot do anything on me and something. But so it was the data exchange. If they want to protect themselves and we pass their messages, file data, or any conversation pass over the overseas and return them, and they just think this is safety. But I can say this is wrong.
Yeah, so in the chat they say few months ago a European police force set up an encryption chat app and caught over 100 criminals planning serious crimes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was talking with a friend before, probably about 1 or 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about how many different encryption apps have popped up over the last year, and how many of these were actually being run secretly by intelligence. And we've seen that before happen in the past, and that's a very interesting story, Mark.
Yeah, it's a perfect honeypot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was also there was this whole scandal surrounding WhatsApp, right? And then suddenly so many people move over to Telegram and Signal. But I was surprised to see so little about Wire there, because Wire is like literally the only thing that doesn't require like a phone number. And I have a problem with apps that require a phone number because it doesn't make sense to me, because you can still, like, the ISPs can then still the phone providers can still map a network, like a spider web between the phone numbers, which makes no sense to me in privacy perspective.
Yeah, it's not only just for that though; it's also for security reasons of not just mapping somebody out, but security reasons of the account. But what they don't realize is that you can SIM swap somebody.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
So, connecting an account to a phone number is outdated. It's something that needs to be phased out. It's not secure.
No, I had a discussion also with someone who is like really technically inadept, and they swear with the whole connecting phone numbers thing. I'm saying, like, yeah, if you're afraid to have everything of you collected and you want to have more privacy, don't connect your phone number to everything. And like you're saying too, like the SIM swapping. And, yeah, this is all not a good idea. Make random emails from like Proton Mail or something, or some other. Yeah. Just make.
I'm also using Proton Mail.
Yeah, so whatever, like some stuff like mail.ru with the .onion with Tor, right? So yeah, you make just a mail.ru address with Tor, and it's all fine. But no, I mean, it's like, why connect your phone number to everything? That's what I mean. It's a very bad idea. Phone is a weakness in many sense. Like the communications also, they're allowed to tap like the communications out of the air with like signal intelligence and these things. There's like no limits for them to do.
Just so I just need to say what that means is just I just can say his speech out signal is safety is just focus on your personal data. It's not talking about wrong, but if it would, what can it say? The speech of talking about signal is security is just only for your personal, but without something conditioned in case, it's like you are under arrest or focusly to getting your information. And I say back the YouTube channel something chat is the same. You say that Europe take the group to focusly to do this. I think government should have these resources to do this. If they want to focusly to decrypt something message, they can do it. Just like they want to focusly to know, maybe same we talk about this, they want to know what are the ISIS doing. They can focusly to target on this a little bit conversation. So it can be doing.
Right.
So
they think that they have this thought that they can have companies build a backdoor only for them, right? But what they don't realize is if you build a fucking backdoor into encryption software, that backdoor can then be found by other malicious users, like, and
Yeah,
like,
crazy. You talk like a WeChat.
yeah.
You
But
talk
then-
like WeChat, yeah.
I mean, they don't realize, like, you can't build a backdoor into encryption that only works for the government. It's going to work for anybody who finds the fucking backdoor. They don't.
Seriously,
These
seriously.
Well, yeah, these politicians do not understand how technology works in code, and it's so funny, like for them to try to say, we want you guys to build a backdoor into your encryption software. Oh, so you want us to make it insecure because you're not the only one that would be able to get in with a backdoor. It would be anybody,
Yeah.
anybody who's smart enough to find it. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, these are these easy mistakes they make, right? And like, okay, so they buy like $1 million firewall and protection, right? And then they put these the job offers on LinkedIn, and they put exactly the job offers with which operation system you need experience with, which hardware you need experience with.
you know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Not only like this. I know what you mean because everything. How to say that? In the technical questions or the topics to talk about this, we have something funny story about it. It's coming from Apple. You know, the iPhone. In NSA tried to requesting the iPhone SE versions must be leave a little bit backdoor to let the government can unlock the phone. You know the story. So
Yeah.
what are they doing? Just they know it. Yeah, people like iPhone very very much. World around and man, women, everything's maybe the political party or the presidents. They seems like use an iPhone, but you can't emergencies that it must be related with something business law or something like this. Just they would recorded the production companies to leave them a finally unlocking skill to let them to know it, because they would think if they want to begin the charge or the arrest or their national security, they must make this hold to them. This is the problem. So what I say, you got two ways to protect yourself. Is without the product give you the protecting, you need to have your self censorship to think about your protect. It's like your each two people in a conversation, you still get the GPG encrypted message or something. Just only you and your friends know the password to decrypt the message. That is the mostly safety. But just seriously, it's normally people won't think about this and they will think it's too complicated, it's too much, it's too difficulty for them. They won't to use it. But seriously, they same want to request with us. They want the privacy. I say I just can give you the answer. You cannot do this. If you really want the privacies, you have your responsibility to protect yourself. It's not only the software or the law can give you this protection. That's all my answer.
Okay, you have any comment on that? Or?
No.
Okay. Let me read
I'm
in the
looking
chat.
for a YouTube message, so
Yeah.
yeah, go.
I wanted to ask you, Mark, though, like, what were the Russians communicating on YouTube? And like, what were they saying? Like, how do you know that?
Oh, it was like a big article I read about that. I will find it for you. But they were communicating below like popular soccer matches and stuff. I'll find it for you. Okay. So the reasoning behind it is you just you're hidden in plain sight, right? So you hit actually. Okay, so this is the concept. When you would like break into a house and you do it at night, and you stand in front of the house, you look super suspicious, right? But if you are in a big city, and where no one knows who lives where, and you in plain daylight, you stand in front of a house and you try to open a door, people won't even look weird to you. You can open the door in public, right? They won't even look weird. So that's the concept of like you jump into like the public space, but you actually communicate using like these. You have these little notebooks in front of you, and you can literally say like, okay, great goal or something. Literally, you can say that because they know which username you are. Like you have that in your notebook, for example. And you literally can say like great goal when you're looking at a soccer match, and they actually know what the word great goal means in the notebook, right? So that's the thing, and you will like literally you're able to communicate about like with like real words that are applying to this actual soccer match, but in reality you're using a complete code language in a notebook, and that is like it's very effective. No one will actually see it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man.
It's smart, right?
Yeah, that's smart. If you're watching like a soccer game and communicating like great goal, I mean, nobody would be able to tell the difference.
No one. You have in your notebook it means like kill the Egyptian guy or something, right? This is just literally. Yeah.
That's good. And that's great.
Yeah, so that was a concept. I read this in an article. This must be like a year or two ago. I read this, by the way, but I know they were doing it. I think it's also in a book actually. But yeah, so that's what kind of what they do. I know they also there's other intelligence. I know it's actually Dutch intelligence in my own country. They use like a real life RPG things. Like they give each other like online nicknames based on like. Famous RPGs or famous books, like the Count of Monte Cristo was used in the past, and they have this whole role playing thing, where they don't really even have to communicate, but every person knows which role they have, and yeah, it's very effective. They know their things without even talking, like yeah. You don't have to show up, and they know what your role is.
Right.
Yeah, so I was reading in the chat.
They're requesting something about a GPG question. I mostly use GPG encrypt in Write. I can say GPG also have 3 levels to make the encryption. You can just only use the password to encrypt, and it's just the decrypt timing as they don't know the password. So if you care about the GPG, will identify your clients with cert. It's not very important of them. Just like what are the encrypting levels your choice before. If you use the key, the decrypt key. Now I know that is maybe something boring because it's too much about the technical skill in here. But it's seriously this GPG levels encryption with different kind of levels. If you are seriously to making the encrypt and decrypt is not really have a easy way to the public user. Is seriously, yeah. So would we got any other question or
Yeah,
funny
there are
things in
There are some. There is this one user says mad props to GeoHot for being to do jailbreaking the iPhone. But he was also the guy who took over these Teslas, right? These Tesla cars.
This is the other way to talk about a jailbroken iPhone. Is because I remember that news is talk about Apple will protecting the rights with the non-jailbreak iPhone users. But if you jailbroken, it means Apple cannot do everything on your phone. I mean only the Apple Care or something. The other rights to protect in the iPhone's users, but seriously, if you jailbroken after you jailbroken your iPhones, is Apple still will lost to security with your phones? The security responsibility will put back to the user themselves. This is they would like. It means if that backdoor is already in here, but you got jailbroken it, the government cannot use this backdoor. This is the good way, but the bad way is if you got any problem, maybe your data loss, your phone was crashed or something, Apple won't care your data and it cannot do everything for you. It's just the difference. So if the question is ask about your iPhone was jailbroken or not, what better to protect yourself, I would say half and half and 50-50. It's not really sure. It need to know your technical skills to which level or what would you want to use with your iPhone, so you can choose jailbreak or not.
Okay. Yeah, he was specifically talking about that guy, GeoHot. I remember him from that Tesla situation. He was not unable to buy a new Tesla because he hacked into the systems and stuff. It was a big scandal he made. He made them really scared. Do you know that story about Tesla and GeoHot? Or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, okay, because he made this. He made his own software, right, for the autopilot stuff, and he wanted to sell it to Tesla. Yeah, but when they didn't agree, yeah, he just used it, so but it was illegal, and Tesla was very angry with it. And yeah. Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, okay, so they banned him from buying new cars and stuff, and I think they actually re-hacked the Tesla 2 remotely and stuff. It's like, but
no, this Tesla is very easy to hack. I remember that in Shanghai demonstration of the of how to say it is Tesla hijacking testing for laboratory it's really work. And what is the idea of this? Just put the JPEG or picture files, cover your all moderating, and you can't touch anything. And that means lock down your car. It can do it. This I think is not easy to do is, but if you can take the connection with the Tesla car and you can do it whatever you want, because it's same just Debian Linux.
oh my god. Yeah, but this is like, okay, that is way too dangerous for a car, right? If cars are driving on the highway and stuff.
Yeah. You think in your heart running too fast and I broke down your car. It's like a watchdog, and the police is one arresting you and shut down your car.
Yeah.
Just something like this.
These people are fucked. These cars are fucking expensive too. Why are they even?
they wanted that capability. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but police, they wanted that capability to be able to shut down people's cars instead of being able instead of chasing people for smart cars. It didn't go over well, but they wanted that capability.
Feels like something. It's maybe we talked about it.
They wanted a universal switch to turn off people's smart cars.
Yeah.
And again, well, if you put something like that into tech, well, guess what? That means anybody who has that knowledge is going to be able to abuse that.
Yeah, it's not just the government. It's not, yeah, exactly. It's not just the government. Not just the police. No. No, anyone can find these things. Yeah.
Right.
And they will too. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Within just a few weeks to a month, I mean, somebody curious, they'll find it.
So yes, this is the story to talk about. If you are begin to rob a bank, don't try to use the Tesla to running after.
The robbing the banks thing. That's even worse. But I can't.
Yeah, if you gotta run away, don't want to drive a Tesla.
No, but this is something. So I know something about ATMs. I can't even say this on air. We will get banned for sure. But this is really bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah. Don't don't go there.
I told you that, right?
I know. I just know exactly what you're trying to say, and no, don't do it.
Yeah. So nothing is secure in this world anymore. It's fucked up.
It's just a joke for talking about it. It's serious. If you think, okay, you make a.
Well, they do allow us to fucking talk about it, because guess what? If you don't realize that how insecure everything is, I mean, things will never be secure. But the thing, I know exactly what you're gonna say. You're gonna say the default code for ATMs, and don't do it. Don't you do it?
Oh, yeah. I also okay. I'm going to go there. I'm not with the default code. That's too much. But I will say that on all the ATMs behind the logo is a USB port. Every ATM. This is a logo. You see the logo on the ATM? You can literally push it out, and there's a USB slot behind it. And yeah, they run on these operating systems. Yeah. Okay. So it's not hard to reverse engineer. No. I also saw it on
my question.
No.
Why would they put the USB port under the logo instead of behind it?
Yeah, no. That's the weird thing. But I saw this guy. He was selling this on the dark web actually. Like literally, he was selling it. Okay, so they didn't they say don't do it and stuff. Okay, but this guy was selling this tool for for big money, right? But he didn't even ask money up front. He just said pay me afterwards. And he had all these upvotes.
It's not only. It's just maybe the kind of the hacker want to win the gambling in the Tesla security project. Not only. Yeah. If somebody's company would do this, just if you can report their bugs and you can earn something money from this in this project, just try to faster way to know what is the bug and what can the people think about this. This take the resources. So I remember that video up to YouTube. You can take it and this how to hack the Tesla. It's funny.
Yeah, fucking dangerous though.
I just really think that the default password is just ridiculous. I don't understand why they have that as the default password. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to do it. But it's so fucking ridiculous. And I mean, I'm not saying I ever robbed an ATM, but playing around with an ATM just for the lulz. I mean,
Yeah,
It's so
definitely.
funny how many of them- it's so funny how many of them actually have the default password. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, plenty of countries also they don't update the stuff all the time. And I know in the past like they ran on like Windows NT and stuff. Windows NT on these ATMs. So yeah. Okay, what was it like NT 4.0 or something? It was like very super old. I was like still running on it all this time.
Yeah, well, that's the other exploit. I mean, if they're running on Windows NT, are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That shit is more accessible than Windows XP.
I think actually the basis for XP.
Man. Windows XP. Do you remember Windows XP and how fucking exploitable that is? Like,
Yeah.
you were able to show somebody, fucking easy, like no problem at all. No, you could do it through a fucking connection through like
Yeah.
AOL. Yeah,
Agreed.
you could do it like through a connection through like AOL Messenger. So like, you know, like you needed nothing. You needed no skill. You could give Windows XP or vulnerable Windows XP machine to as a target to a fucking noob that knows nothing about hacking or anything, and you know they would be able to get into the system easily.
Agreed.
But yeah, I shouldn't have said that H word. Bad me. I probably just got us banned. Oh,
It already
fuck.
triggers on the word hacking, I think. Yeah.
But maybe this is the old way. Because the ATM was using the XP system is maybe more than 20 years
No,
before products.
it's using Windows NT. Most of them use Windows NT.
I heard about this project in Hackerbox. This is the same different channel in the Discord. They got a platform called Hackerbox. But this topic is funny. It's talk about how to attack the ATM system. But it realized to most using the system behind the ATM is importing Windows XP is very easy to take out the money and uncontrolled the ATM machines, just only the machines.
I mean, okay, so I don't know if this will, but there's a way to change it so you can like withdraw $10 and the system gives you like 100 or 50 or 500. You know, like it's fucking ridiculous that that's even programmable, and I don't understand why that's programmable. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's like they want somebody to do that. Like, why is that an option to change $10 into withdrawing $50 or something? Like, come on. Fine. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so insane that that's an option within the ATM's admin panel. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Never has, never will. But let's get off of this subject before we get banned. I don't know what else there is to talk about, but it should be something. Okay. So, all right. So here's an article for you that I think you guys can try to explain to me. 18-month-year-old shoots 5-year-old in Detroit. How the fuck does a 1-year-old get a gun and shoot a 5-year-old?
I would care. Should it be the bugs of the input sources? I mean.
No more. No.
No more. Okay.
No more. No. But somebody explain that to me.
Okay, I forgive it. Don't talk about it in the technical.
Yeah, that's like the time that fucking Tyler explained how to build a boom boom on air.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I get what you mean. It's just serious is the system bug in the ATM just using like this. But it's this crazy with the older system. But now seriously, I think the next generation ATM would coming up to much more like Linux system or just using Raspberry Pi at the behind. So it maybe a little bit security, a bit security, more than an XP. I mean.
At least other people like the show. They're also retracting messages. And someone just sent me a site called TeslaRadar.com, and you can see all the Tesla Model 3s on a map. And the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like nice privacy these people have. Like seriously.
How to expect the Cybertruck? I really want to know how Cybertruck, because I don't take the Cybertruck up to my head and play it. I really want it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a funny question. You can try the emergencies. It's like your iPhone in the upgrading to be a crash. But can you emergency your Tesla in the upgrading be then in the crash? What would is like the bigger iPhone to crash on the road or in the system upgrading? This is just a funny story in that laboratory for hacking the Tesla, but this is real. The topic is talking about if you're upgrading the system and between with the crash or what is the system upgrading error and it keep loading on the boot, so your Tesla would, what the hell would be?
Yeah. Yeah, but you can that is just an example. Like all this stuff that you mentioned is just an example of how insecure all this stuff is. And there's the governments, what these big corporations do, and everything has to do with selling as much as possible, make it compatible as possible. But security is like nothing for these people. It's like insane.
And saying, if talk about this, the backdoor already built in the application. That is, how can I say? It's same including the GPG encrypting technical problems, because they would think. I speak in English, so I use this word. It means the mother key to release the sub key to, I mean the SUB encrypting key to out there. So why would we talk about at the final the company or the government still can use the final admin key or mother key, something like this, to decrypt your message or decrypt the problem. This is actually for something criminal. I think it should have this final way. But the same is the problem. And back to like to talk about Assange or something like Edward Snowden. Something. If you want to leak the government secrets, that will damage their secrets. So they would make something terrible things on the people. So normally people, if you are not doing like this, you don't need to care much more about this, and it can make the society back return to the normal. Great show tonight. So yeah, in this way I need to same 3 hours programming. Anything share with each other. Oh, silent.
Hey, did you have a question for me? Because I just took my headphones off for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. I'm just okay because
yeah. No. Okay. So the users are smart here. They retract messages because they realize it can get as a banned. What government is that? They say like in our government they will try to campaign to discredit you and your information. Oh, no, they do the same thing here too. Doing in the USA they do it. Definitely. They do this in China too, right? They discredit you. They call you like what is it? Like what did they do to Jack Ma actually? They said it was like an anti-corruption investigation. I think. They always say like you are corrupt. I was no big fan of Jack Ma, by the way, because Jack Ma, he said like when you want to work at Alibaba, you have to be willing to work 12 hours a day at least, and 7 days a week.
I didn't know that.
Well, he said this publicly. He said like publicly like yeah, you have to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you have no break at all, nothing, right?
Okay, alright, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's like that's the problem. Yeah, but I mean like I still fuck the Chinese government, but I mean like also fuck the other side. It's always a bad thing. There's like always choosing between two evils.
Literally, I mean that's fucked up. Saying you have to work 11 or 12-hour days for 7 days a week. I mean, come on, no break. The fuck? That's slavery.
Yeah, I'll get the article for you real fast. You know, I'm not like bullshitting you around. Yeah. Oh yeah, you found it already. Alibaba founder Jack Ma says staff should work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. He says. Okay, so I exaggerated. It was 6 days a week, 12 hours a day.
6 days a week is still fucking crazy. I mean, shit.
okay. I go to toilet. Give me a second.
Okay. Okay, I'm posting the link in the thing. Yeah, that one. China's richest man calls on staff to work 72 hours a week. I don't know, these billionaires, they will get crazy at some point.
I would say that's crazy.
Yeah, doesn't he do that much work? Doesn't he work like every hour a week? How do you even need sleep?
Yeah, I don't think that he would agree with that.
No. Yeah, no, so yeah, but
Let me-
go ahead. Navigator answers backdoors in vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, so I know it also with these car doors. You could do it too. You could like brute force them and stuff. Like you have these remote tools to just like they will just try all the passcodes. Like automatically. And so these cars have like a limit, not a limit on tries or something. So Because it is also supposed to be automatic.
Well, being a car, I mean, it shouldn't, right?
I see, exactly.
Oh, I'm back.
And also when I've seen that, yeah, also at DEF CON I also saw this guy who was able to fool police radars and stuff by yeah, broadcasting a pulse, and he was able to yeah, to make himself go like 0 miles an hour and stuff while he was like driving way too fast. So yeah, technology is easy to abuse if you just understand about it. But yeah, you can get obsessed with certain things. Like yeah, you just want to learn this one thing, and you just start reading everything about it until you know it all, right?
Right.
You don't always need like a formal tech education where you go to schools for like 4 years or 6 years, and where a certain subject only gets passed around for like 1 month or something. You learn from 1 month about like one certain operating system or something, or one software, right? But if you really want to learn something about something you really care about, you study this for years. You're way advanced over these people. So unless someone works in this business for like years and years with experience. Or even then, it depends on what task this person does. Like this is also the advantage a red team has then over these people. Huh? I was discussing server security too in the with someone last week, and explaining like if you're on like on a blue team and you're defending a server and you have to like close thousands of different security holes, but if you're on a red team you only need one, right? So you're always in a disadvantage in that sense. We are back now.
No.
Okay. Yeah, the guy was hacking radar guns. Exactly. Yeah, I seen that one too. Right? It was interesting to see. It was doing. It was making it very easy. On a DEF CON episode, you can find it on YouTube. Yeah. I watch these things. I like these things. It's always those are like the interesting things, not just like one computer software or something, but just these weird tools they make, right? And with cars was the same. I used like brute force methods to just try all the passwords, like automatically try all the passwords on a car door, right? And it opened. I have a big chance that you will open like many cars on the lot, but yeah. Okay, we
This
go ahead.
maybe it's not only it's what to say, if I want to block one cars but in the front have different cars I can control, it same can block. I just stopped your car of the front and you must stop. So you can't think this is how dangerous about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean these remote hacks, yeah. Yeah, it's but I don't know why would the police even need such things? You can just they have these police cars are capable of doing enough already. You can stop with that bullshit.
It's not only, it would the same, the only marketing with Tesla, because same would, how do I say that, it's no more any other company was fight with the Tesla. So it in my side, I would think this is the other dangerous things. Yeah, but I can say something funny. In Taiwan, they got the electrical motorcycle. The idea seems like Tesla, but actually they're the technology is not very tighter like Tesla would have something AI inside of them, but it's just the electrical motorcycle. So how would the anything in the market would have the other cars company like Tesla was growing up, and we need to take a look. I know China want to make the other like this, but same is the driving safety problem. It cannot to outprove to the world around, but I hope that is becoming. And also we can heard that BMW have same electrical car. Toyota is also creating their AI cars. And bands also doing like this, but we can't think too much with future with the cyber car of this. But same is the funny things is if it's including the computer, we would more to think about the hacks, how to use the hacking skill to stop the car or break the car.
Yeah, it also becomes just interesting when you know about it. You wanna find it. Yeah.
Such like Watch Dogs.
Yeah. I also want to be the first to find it. Yeah, it's interesting. But I know this. Okay, so so you have people who do it because they really love it and they just want to find it. But you also have these serious big criminals who just sell it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would be the new market. It would be the new market in the dark side, in the dark web. It's something. You want to stolen this car, so you buy the hacking programs to do it with your phone. It's just like a remote. Beat, and I control your car.
Yeah, so easy. That's how easy it is actually done. Yeah. But this will be like this in the future because all these phones, they will have like, when you buy like a Tesla, you will have like an app to control it, right? That's what they will give people, like an app. You can like your iPhone, you can control your Tesla and make it drive to you and stuff.
But the serious, but nowadays we don't need to care more about this because it's not easy way to do this. We're talking about really easy, it's very funny, or we're talking like a jokes, but it's not really simply. So maybe the listener or people in the YouTube don't try this at home, right?
No, never try this at home now.
Yeah, sure. You break down your Tesla and your father will loud at you. I cannot drive out. What the hell? Your father must shout at you. I want to driving out, but you break down the car. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, it could always be a listener who does this and says like, I heard this at ABB and now I'm a terrorist.
Oh yeah, that's great.
They'll say like AK did it. Or that Tyler did it with that other episode. Remember?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Tyler did it. He talked about making a bomb.
No, don't say the B word. Say boom.
Okay, but technically, we are allowed to say things which were like in news articles, right, on the internet. Isn't that true?
Yeah, sure.
Like if it's already public, like on general news site, like let's say it is on like CNET.com or whatever, then it's already public, right? And it's legal because they didn't have to take it down either to say it. We can refer to this source of this guy who was collecting all these. Do you remember that? He was collecting all these smoke detectors in the USA.
Oh my god, yeah.
which were radioactive, right? Because they have like a little radioactive material in the smoke detectors. He was collecting everything to build his own nuclear reactor. I think they arrested him because they were like measuring these high levels of radiation around his house and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this is true. Smoke detectors is a radioactive material, a really small part. So I'm allowed to say that, right? It was in the news article, so yeah. They should stop selling those things.
I think so, but I don't know for sure.
Well, if it's really a threat, they should stop selling them, honestly.
Not so.
No more smoke detectors. Make something else. Make like a new type of smoke detector.
I'm getting tired. It's about almost time for me to call it, man.
Mad Mom, you're going wild with hearing this stuff, right? It's all
It doesn't matter because in my place I'm same in the afternoon, but I still have something jobs need to go out. So
cool.
how to disclose the program denied?
Yeah. Yeah, I know my volume is too low, but yeah. It's a little late now. It's like after 4 hours. Well, we can put it up now like super loud, but it's already 4 hours gone, I think. We did 4 hours then.
Yeah.
Hey, now it's louder.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so we're going off air then, guys. Everyone is tired here, and we're talking way too slow. I have a lot of dead air, so we'll be back later. Please share it around if you can. If you
But later he meets tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we have a regular episode tomorrow. It's true. Oh yeah, and probably Tyler will be back. He said he could stream again. So from 21st, yeah, he can stream again if I'm correct. So there will be a regular time. Oh yeah, and at 1900 Dutch time, that is 7 o'clock evening time, I expect, I'm not 100% sure, but he really wanted to, Matthijs Pontier, that's the leader of the Dutch Pirate Party. He's running for election, and he wanted to come on air at 1900, 7 evening time, that is 6 evening time UK time. So, and that is 3. No, that is 2. 2 o'clock afternoon at East Coast America. 2 afternoon. Yeah. Okay. So that I will be there, and the regular episode at the normal time, the usual time, and Tyler will do it. That's correct. So sharing is caring. Want to give that a PSA or something, okay?
They neuter all your politicians and lobbyists.
Yeah, good night, guys.